Okay, I'm just testing the microphone. They can also hear you now as well, Martin.
Greetings.
Hopefully you can't hear my fan. I'm just gonna turn it up by one more setting. And if you can hear the fan, then just let me know.
If the stream is so far behind.
It's on the max setting now.
I mean, I don't hear a fan, but I do hear like an occasional clicking sound.
Oh, okay. That's probably me just touching my headset then.
Yeah. No, I think you sound fine.
Yeah, nice. All right. I will get that. It's still making that noise though. It's still making that noise of when something pops up in the chat. No, I've been trying to get rid of that for ages now.
No, I wouldn't say that publicly too much, because next thing you know, Andrew's gonna send as many messages as possible. Also, howdy there, video gamer guy.
Hello. All right. Well, I'll put us back on mute. Hopefully see you guys in a couple minutes. And they're off. Green flag racing, Matt's getting an amazing start. Ultimate Case actually Oh, catching speed, napping. Matt getting the jump on his teammate down the inside. Necron losing to Cuckoo on the start. Can he pressure Dina into a mistake? Dina goes too wide and extremely close for P1. And is this going to be Jedlin going down the inside? Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, that's a spin. And there's another safety car. Oh my god, this carnage.
Jedlin and Kaze are both in the pits. Fennec, Exus, and Dean are all coming in as well. It'll be very tight if he still wants to make it to the back of this pack, but in the meantime, we do have everyone out of the pit, so we're probably going to get going on this next lap. We are in fact restarting now regardless of that incident.
Okay, he's looking for that undercut. Does he get it? It looks like he might do that side by side and very close together. Cuckoo looking for that inside line on Jedlin ahead. Going into 130R, but they're going to be wanting to go fully defensive into the chicane of Casio Triangle. He's going to end up finishing in P1, crossing the line. Greenlink's going to cross the line. It's going to be Ultimate K's across the line.
Gillish comes across the line to win his second MSR title.
And hello viewers, and welcome to round 3 here at Campo Grande, and as always joined by WMDR Martin.
Greetings.
And quite the wet track we've got here tonight, the first wet race of the season, and also MSR's first official race with random weather involved. So I'm very interested to see how tonight's going to go.
What a day. It's definitely been a long time coming. I am very curious to see what the weather will give us. Undoubtedly, it will be still better than what we're currently experiencing IRL. We're pretty much in the middle of a heat wave right now, so I think a lot of drivers will be appreciating the rain out on track today, even if it's just to soothe them mentally.
I think Eddie, in Italy, I think he said it was about 34 where he was, so that is insane temperatures. I mean, I think everyone's going to be quite jealous of seeing the rain on their screen tonight for the first time.
Ooh, as you can see, they're on board with Ultimate K's. He got quite close to the edge of the track, already pushing the limits early on. Is this going to be one of those cases where the rain just keeps on adding more and more water to the track, which then slows down quality times by the end of the session?
Well, let me bring that up. It is okay. So once again, we have, like last season, it is a wet track. Pre says, oh, Ultimate Gaze onto the grass. Not going to do well for his quali lap, but we also have storm conditions right now. So I think as this session goes on by, I think depending on how wet the actual preset of the track is originally, I think it will just get wetter and wetter as the qualifying session goes on.
So that is why people are pushing right out of the box, even going over the limit, as you've seen with Keza. Now, I will say, even though these conditions are pretty torrid, you have not driven in a real storm unless you've driven in stormy conditions in Project Cars 2.
Yeah, I mean, those storm. I wish we had a storm with lightning in AMS2. I will admit that the lightning did always add something nice. Actually, I think sometimes
that was amazing for screenshots. It's just a bit of a shame that the storms were so deadly in that game that you just could not survive the 5 trillion puddles you'd find on the track.
One thing that Automobilista, I'm very happy because originally Automobilista used to have the same abominable puddles, and then one day they just decided, I think there still are the occasional puddle here and there, but one day they decided to get rid of them, and I mean I haven't heard a complaint since. So
yeah, I mean it's a downgrade for realism, but it definitely makes the rainy conditions in this game more survivable. As you can see, Fennec there equaling his personal best first sector down to the millisecond, which is a good sign because he's currently the fastest man out on track according to the timing table, almost 2/10 ahead of second place Ricky, and another 10th or so ahead of Matt's King Kodiak with a strong start currently in 4th place. 10 minutes left in this session. A lot of people yet to settle out.
Yeah, I mean, these rain conditions very tricky, especially for some drivers who haven't fully got to grips. This is the first rain session of the season, so I don't know what that means for some drivers. Maybe some practicing more than others, but that does surprise me considering that Fennec is in first place, and we know his style when it comes to practicing. That's join for the 1 hour practice at the beginning, and that's about it.
I mean, even that's asking a bit much of him sometimes. It's we've seen plenty of races where he just shows up at the start of quali and still does a pretty decent job. As now, Matt's and Fennec both improved, but it's Matt's pipping Fennec by 20 milliseconds. And we have seen when both Trouble and Fennec put in more practice than usual, they are a force to be reckoned with. So it's definitely looking like Fennec might have pulled a little bit more out of his toolbox again this week.
Yeah, something else I'm curious about as well, over the course of all his bindings off.
Yeah, he's the only driver yet to set a time, and I can definitely guarantee you that that is not the way to do it.
But something I'm curious about is, as much as this is just going to be a rain session, we are predicted rain in each 3 of the sessions, including the random weather slot. But we do have 3 different types of rain forecast for tonight. We have storm conditions, as you're seeing right now in qualifying, and also medium rain in race 2 at the start of race 2, and then light rain at the end of race 1.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be very changeable conditions out on track tonight. Make the racing a little bit less predictable. Not that it was predictable before, but you always love to see an extra variable or 2 thrown into the mix. Now, there's a yellow flag in one of the sectors, but I think that's already been cleared. Still no changes to the top 3. Warlord now in 4th place. Video Gamer Guy continuing to do well currently in 5th. Andrew suspiciously close to his typical P8 merchant position. Though he's been quite strong this season, he's going to have to pull out a bit more to get on pole here tonight with 7.5 minutes left, as he's now been bumped down another spot. This time Keza setting a good lap. It's 137.7 in 5th place. Oh, Nismo exposing some top secret files on stream.
Just realised missing a couple things on the side, so just gonna get them sorted hopefully before the race.
Now, we do have a car off track. It is Exus, currently pushing in 16th position. Has to gain more than a second on his current best lap time to gain even a singular position. So he's going to have to work hard at that, currently down in 16th.
Now, something that a lot of drivers may have not... viewers may have not noticed is we are missing what was the most common livery in round 1. And that is the fact that we have no more basic white liveries now. Every driver on the grid should have a livery as Ricky in the purple and green machine, setting pole position in these very abominable, I can't say that word, these terrible conditions.
It's almost as difficult as... Oh, hold on. Fennec has gone on pole now by 36 milliseconds. The margins at the top here really are incredibly tight tonight. So that's definitely showing that the drivers, as they get the tires into the right window, as they manage to nail their apexes, and it's definitely a lot of them around this track, that they keep on improving. And there's still 5.5 minutes left. I'd hesitate to say that that will be the fastest time of the session at this rate, because there's definitely a lot of people out on track right now. I think just one person in the pits. It's Bernd Curley in 10th. I was going to add something as well, though, Nismo. I had someone ask me earlier how many bean facts we were going to be getting tonight.
Oh.
So I went ahead and asked an AI to give me an interesting fact about Brazilian beans, because this race is, of course, being held in virtual Brazil. And I discovered that, well, for one, I discovered that Warlord is now on provisional pole by 47 milliseconds, less than a tenth separating the top three. Absolutely incredible. Still 5 minutes to go. It's not over yet. And the other thing I discovered is the fact that apparently Brazil is the world's largest producer of the common bean.
Ah, well, that is you would have thought that it would have been like a Brazilian bean or like a Brazil nut, but I guess I don't think I was expecting that.
We can keep the nut facts for a different stream, but it's definitely interesting. If you've had a bean in your life, good chance it's from Brazil.
And I thought Heinz was all British. I've been lied to.
Meanwhile, on board with Binding, now still in last place, currently driving behind a very ghosted car. Can he improve on his time? He does by a full, well, exact 2 seconds. It's enough to bump him up to 15th position, but still nowhere near where he'd want to be, as I'm sure. And he's just floating off of the track there in turn 1. It's not an easy hairpin in these conditions.
Yeah, not one bit. Oh, up in there.
We have a driver off. It's Escher, exploring the off track. That's one of the new liveries, actually. Nice to see. It kind of reminds me of the condiments that you'd put on a hot dog, as there's 2 more cars out of position. One of them returning to the pits as to not impede too many other people. And in the background, another car sliding off in the same corner. That is Cuckoo in P8.
Oh, and another car follows.
That is, oh my word, it's Binding their teammate. Upside down.
Hopefully, I mean, with how slidey it was looking there, it looked like they had slicks on.
Let's go on board with Exa, see if he can navigate that very popular off-track corner. He's got some fast company not too far behind, and he's also going off in that very same part of the track.
I mean, maybe the rain's getting heavy through that corner. We know how adjustable the conditions are when it comes to rain weather. Ooh!
Oh, what a rejoin.
I think Video Gamer Guy probably got a little bit of a jump scare like us there. I was not ready to see that.
Mats is ready to see the checkered flag in P1 as he continues his quest to get on provisional pole. He's currently still 2 tenths down. This has not necessarily been his strongest car, but he's definitely still fast enough to keep up the fight at the sharp end of the grid.
And while talking about fast drivers, our current championship leader is Andrew, 100 points. He's only in P10 right now, though, so these wet conditions not doing the best for the championship leader right now. Matt, though, seeming to master them a bit better than Andrew. Matt's in 2nd place in the championship. But Fennec, he's just been keeping his cool in the back.
We have identical pole times, Warlord and Fennec. Not a millisecond between them.
I mean, clearly the game, because I think the game has clearly added another millisecond extra, maybe. I don't even know if that's millisecond. What's a nanosecond to Fennec's time? But
I mean, it's either that or it depends
close
on who set the time first. You have some games as well, like Trackmania, where who said it first doesn't really matter. It's the name of the player that matters, which is a crazy system. I'm glad we don't run that here. But Fennec is improving on his personal best lap. He's up by 2 tenths of a second. In a bit of dirty air, though, going through the final few corners. Now we'll have to see if that has any sort of negative effect on him. But he is on track to go and improve that pole time. Less than a minute left in the session.
Funny enough, that is, in fact, Andrew ahead of him.
Ooh. Championship leader has missed his P8 merchant position.
Across the line, does he improve? He got 2. That is quite significant considering that the top, from 2nd place to 5th, is all within 3 tenths. So to get 2 tenths there Almost 3 temps. That is very good. Maybe the track conditions are getting a lot better.
Well, we'll see if his opponent improves, and it's only by a single millisecond. So had Fennec messed up that final lap, that would have been enough for Warlord to clinch pole position, but alas, it was not meant to be, as they both go off in turn 1 after setting their final lap of the session. That means Ricky now, the driver best positioned to improve, and he's already up by 3 1/4 tenths. That's almost all he needs to take pole, as Matt's now P2, just 2.5 tenths behind Fennec.
That did have a bit of traffic in front of him.
Yeah, I think he's driven through that car as it was ghosted, but it's not always easy to tell. As you can see, Ricky drifting through the final sector, using a lot of curb that might have offset his car a little bit from where it has to be.
How fast can he get on the power? Out the corner. Getting as close as to the wall as physically possible. Across the line. Ooh. Oh, and he sets pole!
Wow, he improved by, well, I know it's the meme, but around 6 to 7 tenths of a second, and that is absolutely massive because he is now on pole by a whole 1/3 of a second. That is one of the biggest margins we've seen at the sharp end all evening, considering how close it has been.
Yeah, he must have quite the abysmal last sector, because he was only 3 tenths up in his second sector. Yeah. So he's made a full 3 temps there.
Yeah, exactly. It was absolutely insane. As Eddie now improving from P7 to P5. A couple other people still out on track. Our new P7, Keza, crossing the line a second away from pole. Now only 8 tenths away from pole. Overtakes Video Gamer Guy up to P6. Next to cross the line is Bernd, followed by our new P7 driver, which is Video Gamer Guy this time. We'll see if either of them improves. No, Video Gamer Guy in the pits. And across the line, we'll have to see what Bernd did. Up into 9th.
So it's Ricky on pole once again tonight. Fennec in P2. I think a lot of stuff's changed. I'm pretty sure Fennec isn't German. Matt's in P3. Warlord in P4. Eddie in P5. Ultimate Kaiser in P6. Video Gamer Guy in P7. Cuckoo in P8. Are we starting in hazy conditions? This looks very... Oh, clear sky. Wow, okay. This is going to be quite the interesting race. But anyways, as I was saying, yeah, Cuckoo in P8. Bernd in P9. Trouble in P10. Andrew in P11. JD in P12. Ared in P13, Jedlin in P14, King Kodiak in P15, Binding in P16, and Escher in P17 with Exus at the back in P18.
I was about to say, you were saying and Escher, and I was thinking poor Exus was going to get left out, but he is in fact still with us on P18. He will see all the chaos happening into turn 1. Of course, these are still rolling starts, so formation lap will be the first thing that you see once the drivers have gotten their setups and pit strategies ready. I'd say rolling starts tend to be a bit less chaotic than your typical online standing start, but we'll have to wait and see what these drivers can do, as of course, again, this is the first time they've driven these cars in these kinds of wet conditions. And it might not be raining at this stage in the race, but you can see the track. It's just it looks like someone spilled an absolute motherload of water bottles onto it.
Yeah, I mean, let me have a look at what the track preset is as well, because I don't know if some drivers are maybe going to want to start on the slicks, because we are going to see light rain towards the end of this session. It is confirmed. So, if we've got a, let me bring the track up.
So I just want to mention, look at how ready Ricky is. He is sitting there waiting for the others to get their pit strategies ready. Hand on the gear shift. He is absolutely ready to go.
Yeah, so the track preset right now, it might be all clear skies as of right now, but the track preset is in fact wet, or some people may say moist. So it's I'm very curious to see the strategy. It's not. I think if I was these drivers, I would potentially try and last on the
Oh, we have people
Oh.
going off track on the formation lap. That is Ultimate Keza, I think. Or was... No, it's Matt's teammate. He's, for some reason, down in 9th at the moment. Will he be able to get his position back, or is he going to be sent to the back of the grid?
Fennec? Fennec's on... Why is Fennec at the front?
He does appear to have overtaken Ricky. It's all very confusing at the moment. Matt's currently still... Oh, he's being sent to the back of the grid. So that is the very unfortunate consequence of messing up during the formation lap. You are not allowed to slot back into your position. It's essentially treated like a spin, and you will essentially forfeit your qualifying efforts. Although he is going quite slowly in the back, that's either because he's trying to heat up his tires by going quick after forming a gap, or there's something wrong with his car, but I think it might be the former. Regarding the leader, though, Ricky does still appear to be behind Fennec for some reason.
And staying behind Fennec as well. I don't know if I don't know what's... We're definitely gonna have to ask some people in the interviews tonight on what the procedures, because I can't see one where Ricky gives up pole position.
Yeah, I mean, the driver who is going to be leading into turn 1, he should get the inside line, so whatever happens, we'll see what they decide on as they move into their grid slots here in 3 corners time. All in the final sector now. You can see they've gotten into formation, so that does mean that Fennec will have the inside for turn 1. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Oh, actually... I wonder if this has anything to do with Ricky exceeding track limits last time. I forgot what the actual verdict was for that, but there could have been qualifying consequences for it.
As they get ready to go to the line. And we're racing here at round 3. Fennec with the inside. Ricky still side by side. They're 3 wide. Potentially going into the corner. Ricky later of the breakers, trying to make it all the way around the outside. Warlord down the inside of Fennec. And Fennec dropping back all the way down to P5 from pole.
Yeah, it's absolute chaos in turn 1. People are shuffling positions everywhere. I think there's some people who've had a less than stellar start. You could see as well when they were all in the formation zone on the start and finish straight, there were a couple of drivers that were struggling to keep up. I'm sure there was a bit of confusion going on there, but Ricky now leading this race with Warlord in 2nd place. It was a pretty good move, and he's already putting pressure on the leader as well. Video Gamer Guy now in the 3rd place. Fennec, one of the big losers of the first lap, now down in 12th.
Yeah, I mean, very confused by the start. I think some drivers could be on slicks, and we might see the drivers at the back maybe have elected for the slick tires. Oh, as Exus into the wall!
And I think that may well be a good explanation, as some people might not be on the ideal tires for this stage of the race, which could be why you're seeing some very fast drivers mess up and go to the back of the pack. I think Mats has now had an incident as well. He's recovering onto the track from the wall. Both Exus and Mats here, victims of the barrier on lap 1. Is there a safety car? No, there is not. So the drivers will keep on pushing. Ricky still in the lead, followed by Warlord, but he has pulled a gap now. Video Gamer Guy still in 3rd, followed by Cuckoo. Andrew, who's gained a few positions. Wait, are they slowing down now? Okay,
Yeah,
there is a safety car.
There is a safety.
I guess the memo didn't quite reach the leaders when we thought it would, but yeah, so racing has been neutralized. We'll have to see how many people end up coming into the pits. We do have our first DNF already. No clue as to who that would be, but you can see Mats and Exus the only drivers to come in, so I'm thinking, well, it looked like Exus dropped it on his own. We didn't see what happened to Mats, other than that he recovered from the barrier, so that might have been a 3-car incident that put him in there.
Potentially, yeah, as, I mean, let me bring up the replay, see if maybe there was anything else we caught with, because we saw Exus spinning, but I don't know if there was anything. As, oh, Judlin saying he disconnected at the start of the race.
Ah, that's incredibly unfortunate. Thankfully, it's not game over like it would have been in past seasons, though, with the double race format that we've reintroduced for this season. It has been quite a while since we've done that, but it's definitely showing its benefits. As we will once again have reverse grid from the top 12 onwards for that second race. But, oh, do we have another disconnect? Is that Kodiak out of the race?
Yeah, I mean, that car does not look the stablest.
I mean, he did say that it was incredibly hot and that to simulate the rain, he would have to ask his son to throw some water on him. So if that did happen, hopefully none of it ended up on the motherboard. But he definitely seems to be in dire straits. If that car does not start moving very soon, he will be kicked out of the session automatically. There's only a couple corners left to go for the leaders. I'm not entirely sure if the bottom two will catch up on time for that, but it is just one big straight and a long corner separating the pack from them. Set the camera to the leaders now, although the game does not want us to. Yeah, I kind of doubt that we're going to get going again on this lap. Mats is just too far behind.
Yeah,
and we've lost Kodiak as well. He is out of the race.
That is a shame. 2 disconnects, all within 3 laps, and 1 safety car, in which hopefully we can find out more about later.
That is kind of eerie how when that happened, the game just puts the camera on the black tarps like we're not supposed to be seeing the tragedy that just took place. We can see now the bottom 2 stragglers recovering from their pit lane journey. They've rejoined the pack, so the next lap will see racing underway again. And I think you can already see how much drier the track is compared to the start as well.
Yeah, so those slick runners might potentially have a chance here, but we are still I mean, the sky looks completely clear, but we are expected a forecast of light rain later. That'll be towards around the middle of the race. We might see some droplets start.
And yeah, it's always unfortunate when the when the back markers catch the main pack right after the final sector, because that does mean it's a whole extra lap of just going around at a snail's pace, getting the tires extremely cold. Now in these conditions, I'm sure some drivers will want cooler tires, particularly the wet weathered ones, but we of course don't really have any way of seeing who's on which tire. It's all going to depend on how they drive and how we interpret those lines that they take. But you could see already some tire tracks leading off the track there. I think those were likely the ones belonging to Exus, who's currently immediately ahead of Matt's on screen. Interestingly enough, Matt's not following the big line set ahead of him, maybe trying to avoid some of the rubber that the others are putting down.
Potentially, but one thing is for sure is we have got to confirm from King Kodiak himself that he has unfortunately had technical issues of his PC overheating, so that is a shame indeed.
Yeah, that's a massive bummer, because he's also not going to be rejoining race 2, as he doesn't want to risk his hardware a second time. So I do think the weather forecast is looking better for next week. Hopefully, if that's not the case, maybe someone can set up a crowdfunding to get this man a nice AC for his room. But yeah, that is quite the predicament, as we have people coming into the pits again. That's Warlord pitting from second place. Are they going to restart?
Yes, they are restarting this lap. Everyone getting going. Already people going 2 wide behind as we head into the first corner. A lot less spray becoming quite apparent.
And I just have to wonder why Warlord came in. Did someone maybe rear-end him under safety car conditions and knock off his rear wing? Because there is pretty much no reason to pit other than maybe changing the tires. It could be that he felt his tire choice was doomed and that is going to set some better lap times on a different set of tires. But that does mean that he is now more than 10 seconds behind the nearest driver. He will be very, very dependent on how much the cars in front are fighting each other.
One thing's for sure is those people who are on slicks are going to be very happy indeed. Since
See
they are
side
going to
by
have a lot
side here
less water.
for P5 between Arid and JD. JD with the outside line into the high-speed left-hander. He's pulling ahead in the braking zone, but no, Arid sends it a little bit harder, taking more risk. Is he going to go off track? No, he stays on that racing line.
Oh!
A beautiful move, but that was not beautiful. Who's that off track? It's
That's
Barons.
keeping it out of the wall though,
Oh, tremendous job.
but going very wide, dropping pretty much all the way to the back, with the exception of Warlord who pitted.
Yeah, and actually, wait, are these two teammates as well? Oh, yeah, this is not a good race for them whatsoever. I think they'll have some better fortunes in the second race. Meanwhile, though, Ricky continues to lead the pack with Video Gamer Guy now in second place, on for his best result of the season if he can keep that car there. Cuckoo currently fighting Andrew for second place down the inside. Andrew around the outside. Can he hold it? They've touched a little bit.
Oh, there's more contact!
Yeah, that was Arid just completely barging his way through into a 3-wide situation. An absolute slap in the face for Andrew, who's now fighting it out with Binding for P6. That just goes to show one small mistake can send you from a podium fight into a midfield battle.
Everyone's still quite close. The leaders, Ricky and Video Gamer Guy, 3 seconds ahead of the closest person.
Keza currently side by side with Escher in his brand new livery. Getting the overtake done fairly easily now into a double slipstream just behind Fennec, trying to get a move done as well. It seems like Escher's maybe lacking a little bit of straight line speed, could fall victim to Eddie as well, losing 10th. Andrew now into the braking zone, almost 3 wide.
As Ultimate Kaiser trying it round the outside of Andrew. Could potentially try a move on Binding, but Andrew coming back, having the inside line. They're going to go too wide. Who's going to be late with the breakers? Binding braking early, and Andrew going into the back of him a bit there.
Yeah, thankfully, these cars can handle a bump or two in the right conditions, and you can see Fennec, they're getting the inside line, but in a very, very naughty manner. I definitely see a ticket being raced for that one.
Poked his nose, that is for sure.
You can see the gap between the leaders now 4 seconds. Ricky is driving away with it. Video Gamer Guy now down in 14th position. What's happened to him? Could he also be changing his tires now? I can see some spits of rain now starting to come down. Barron's coming in as well. Could they be on a strategic masterclass, or are these other drivers already on the right tires?
I would be very surprised.
Oh, and there Andrew gets another hit, this time from Trouble, and Escher down his inside. He's an absolute punching bag tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like devoured. Everyone wanting to rub up a bit too closely with Andrew.
Yeah, not the kind of attention that he'd be wanting for sure. It's kept him around his P8 merchant position, nowhere near where his title aspirations would have him at the moment. But the fight for P2 continues as well. Cuckoo not letting Arid get too much rest. Same here for Keza, but he's had quite a good recovery race now up to P4. Still catching the legs of Cuckoo and Arid up ahead. Now behind, I think there's been another overtake. Oh, well, that's just a crash.
Very far off the track. I mean, it was very apparent from when the track started getting a lot more, well, had a dry line, that it was going to be hard to make overtakes. So I think as soon as you get off the line, who's that entering the pits? Is that Matt's entering the pits?
That's Matt's, and he's not the only one, but there's still more action here on the main straight. Trouble chasing 3 cars into turn 1. You can see him pretty much going 3 wide, but Trouble not really wanting to go for that too early on. Now leaving space on the inside. We've seen plenty of contact there before, but manages to survive.
Teammates both making overtakes.
Around the outside of Cuckoo.
On Cuckoo, I think Cuckoo may be still on the wet compound tires. I think the slicks right now doing their job.
And here more side-by-side action, still Cuckoo, but this time with JD, who's going to get the overtake done here, as it was now Binding and Arid in the pits as well. Video Gamer Guys come out quite far ahead of them. see this fight for P5 isn't over yet. On board with Cuckoo.
As Cuckoo not electing to go into JD's slipstream. So I think very much Cuckoo is, I would not be surprised if Cuckoo was on the wet compound tyres and is trying to cool down their tyres as much as possible so it can last for the rain to get a bit heavier or the track to just get that bit wetter.
A very interesting development here as well between these two teammates. Exus overtaking Andrew. Well, it's typically been Andrew that's the faster one in the team so far this season. The fight for P2. Now P1 continues as well as there's a spin for Ricky. Luckily not beached in the gravel though. How many people are coming in? It doesn't appear to be that many, so maybe there was a bit of contact there. I thought we'd see people peeling into the pits, but it's just now Keza, Fennec, and Trouble fighting for the podium positions. A little bit further down, we still have pressure being put on Cuckoo now from Exus. Exus is on an absolute roll in this stage of the race.
Yeah, the Moisty Bandit team trying to make moves as Exus poking his nose a bit, not fully committing to move just a bit too far back, but definitely knows that they have the pace right now on these slicker tyres. As you can see, Cuckoo properly trying to control the rear of that car, just not having the same grip that these people on the slick tyres do. As Exus down the inside, this should be quite the easy overtake, and that'll be Exus up into P6.
If this race was a bit more boring, I would have loved to go check out the lap times, because if Exus keeps this up, he could well be on for a podium here. Meanwhile, the fight for the lead does continue, but it's mainly Fennec putting pressure on Keza. He's not typically known to crack that easily, so do keep your eyes on that in the timing table. But most of the action currently going on in the midfield. Once again, now Warlord getting involved. He's overtaken Exus like an absolute lightning bolt, and now JD as well, up into 5th.
On an absolute steamer. Oh, he has gone past Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky had a bit of a moment there on the outside of that corner, drifting through it. The whole half of the field is just bunching up here in the 3rd sector, but Warlord is on fire. He's already gapped them in 2 corners.
I mean, Warlord was, I think, one of the earliest of the pitters, and I think this strategy has worked out marvellous for him. Still 12 seconds back from the leaders, but it's such an amazing recovery drive.
2x2 into turn 1.
JD's off!
JD going off the track indeed. Is he able to recover? Oh, it's a lot of gravel. The fight continues just up ahead. Eddie versus Cuckoo. Cuckoo around the outside. Not easy to make this move stick, but Cuckoo carries a lot of speed. That was Eddie, rather.
Yeah.
Where's Cuckoo? Okay, Cuckoo's dropped back a little bit, and that's Ricky spinning around.
Oh, very, very close to Andrew there.
That's just an absolutely disastrous start to the evening for Ricky. He was once again leading the race and is once again now outside of the top 10. Not the first time we've seen him make a mistake like that. Fennec, though, currently 3 seconds behind Keza, so either Fennec's made some sort of mistake or Keza has thrown down the gauntlet. Trouble is now down in 6th position from P3. Has to make you wonder if we missed something there.
Yeah, potentially some contact between the teammates could have gone on. That could just let Ultimate Kaiser slip far, just that bit farther away from the 2 contenders.
Yeah, the siblings have had some minor beef in some casual races recently, and I did always say if that would happen in the race, that would make them even more dramatic. But now we have trouble putting pressure on Exus. I'm not sure if Exus is going to be defending this one. He's holding the outside line. Is a bit earlier on the brakes.
Does he get it stopped? It looks like he's got it stopped really nicely there and easily accelerates off the corner. Get P5.
Well done on his recovery there for Trouble. Video Gamer Guy now overtaking Cuckoo. The action just does not stop. It seems quite difficult to defend in these conditions too. We're not really seeing our usual bottlenecks from the drivers that are very, very good at defending. So, yeah, not the most predictable race, it must be said. Yeah,
I mean, these unpredictable weather conditions have clearly created some unpredictable grid positions, and I'm all for unpredictable tonight, let's put it that way, because it is made some amazing racing. and some quite unpredictable moments.
Yeah, now only one thing separating Andrew from his holiest position, and that is a blue card. Cuckoo just up ahead. But you can see, I think, Cuckoo using the boost defensively. That was definitely not a normal speed differential, and I mean, I'd have to say it does look like Andrew's already caught half of that gap in just a single corner.
Oh, Cuckoo, yeah, still struggling on those. Oh, bit of contact. Is that going to be a spin for both of them? No, they both barely hold on to it there.
Yeah, I think Cuckoo was going so slow at that point that little bit of contact probably just helped them to keep the car straight, as now Matt's behind getting involved as well. Almost in the gravel, overtaking Cuckoo through the final corner. If that was the final lap, that would have been amazing, but Matt's now working on his recovery as well. And is it just me, or has the rain stopped? No, there is still a little bit, but it doesn't appear to be very much.
I think a lot of drivers who pick the wet tyres, it looked like the best option to begin with. It just does not look like an optimal option whatsoever right now.
Meanwhile, Bernd send it around the outside in the final quarter around Ricky. Binding currently pretty lonely there in 16th position, almost 20 seconds behind. So I think he's actually come in for an extra pit stop. The gap between the two leaders, meanwhile, as we're on lap 12 of 19, still about 3 seconds, so nothing changing there. Third place Warlord, pretty lonely after his recovery drive. Eddie 5 seconds behind him. Axis still under a little bit of pressure from the likes of Trouble, who we've seen has a pretty good pace tonight. Video Gamer Guy, though, is putting pressure on Trouble as well, so this fight by no means over, but it's quite close. Once again, Cuckoo getting involved in a fight with Arid. We've seen these two fight earlier. It was for a slightly higher position, but the battle does continue.
Yeah, Cuckoo is going to be praying, absolutely praying that these wet conditions just get a little bit wetter. Because from the start, I don't think they've pitted.
Oh, hold on. Did Andrew spin out just now? He's off the track.
I think he's gone into the pit lane.
Yes, he has. So that's quite a late pit stop here for Andrew. I cannot imagine that panning out very well for his race.
Wet tyres? I think it's... The track looks way too...
I mean, I know we can't trust the game, but it looks like they just took wet tires off his car and they're putting slicks on.
No. Has Andrew pit before? I'm trying to think if we've seen Andrew pit before then.
Well, either way, he's so far behind now, I cannot imagine if the leaders pit that he'll be anywhere near them when they do. So, yeah, this is quite the development. He's now behind even Ricky. Only one person behind him at this point, Binding, and he does seem to have caught up to Ricky quite a bit, so his pace by no means is something to scoff at, even though he's in last place. Fennec has also managed to cut the gap in half to Keza, now only 1.6 to the leader. Other battles, though, continue to heat up. Video Gamer Guy fighting Trouble, fighting Excess. This is for 5th place.
Yeah, very close between these three. As all Video Gamer Guy
look.
Really, really pressuring Trouble. That could lead to Trouble potentially trying a dive that we've seen before.
Overtaking Escher briefly.
As Excess defends the inside, Trouble on the outside. Goes a lot deeper into the corner, could have the exit on the outside. Does so, able to just get the traction down and then pass Excess into the left hand. Excess almost trying and getting it back there. Video Gamer Guy now trying to take advantage of the kerfuffling.
I can just see Trouble going a little bit wider than he was probably intending to.
Oh, it's Trouble's lost it!
Fight continues on as they go on to... Oh, have we just had a disconnect? More so.
Oh, Martin, you are very laggy, by the way.
Rejoin. I'm no longer in the session. I'm rejoining.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
That I can hear you a lot better now, as we are still watching the battle between Video Gamer Guy and Exus. Exus still very, very close to the back of Video Gamer Guy. The battle for P5 still not completely diminishing yet.
Yeah, my internet had a massive fart and my ping was at like over 5,000.
I think that's actually one of the last things you sent me, was that you're at 5k ping. So
yeah, it's. I mean, whenever I have the issue and I check the Discord and it shows me that the voice thing is in red, it'll show you the ping as well, and it just maxes out at 5k. All right, I'm once again in the session. Let's see what's happening here. Arid fighting Cuckoo for 7th. 4 laps left to go.
Hello, Peter. No worries.
Oh, hold on. What's happened to Fennec? Where's Fennec? He's
Fennec...
down in 11th.
He's in 2nd place.
What?
I think it might be glitched for you. He's behind Kaiser right now. In a second.
Okay. Oh, well, that's yeah, it's a lot less dramatic than I thought, but if he can overtake, I guess that would be more dramatic. Kaiser weaving around a little bit.
I will
trying to find the optimal bit of tarmac.
If it is glitched for you, then I will keep you notified on the position if it's...
I think them just crossing the line now has fixed it for me. I can see Fennec in 2nd now, fighting the car as he tries to stay close enough to Kaiser to send it down the inside or around the outside, whichever opportunity Kaiser affords him. As you can see, Kaiser just taking very different lines, struggling with those rear tires. He's just drifting at pretty much every corner at this point. Not too far behind as well. There's still the fight going on between Trouble and Arid. Arid now slipstreaming Trouble down the main straight into turn 1.
Oh, Trouble very late on the brakes. Goes a bit deep. Might have the run just out the corner.
So this is Matt's fighting Exus currently for 6th position. I think he's just got the move done, but Exus looking to the inside, seeing if he can get that place back. But it's nothing more than a look. He stays in 7th.
Matt's leaving him the space there, but didn't have too much to worry about. But Fennec
cases in traffic.
Having to definitely gaining on Ultimate Kaiser. About 7 tenths behind, but it's whether he can just commit, have that just extra bit of oomph to make the move. We got 4 laps. Sorry, 3 laps left of this race, and hopefully we will see some closer battling between the leaders.
Yeah, Kaiser continuing to struggle with his tires. I'm surprised that Fennec's not been able to close the gap, considering how much more planted his car seems to be in these corners. Could be that Kaiser is using his boost very wisely indeed as they approach another back marker. I'm very, very surprised if you look at who some of these back markers are, though, because Ricky was the race leader at some point, now down in last place by a huge margin. And there's Fennec, he's sending it with the boost.
Round the outside, and he just has that absolute power to make it past. I mean, this is a very long straight indeed. He's a bit wide through this long left-hander, but he's made it through, and if he's going to have the same boost there next time, then this could be a strategic masterclass by Fennec if he can just press that boost button on the final lap to make the overtake, because Ultimate Kaiser clearly didn't have the boost button, but might have it next lap.
Yeah, I mean, I saw in the previous lap while I was looking at the delta, it went from 4 to 8 tenths, so Kaiser definitely used it on that lap, but we have seen in the last race that having that boost on the final lap can make all the difference, as they're still 7 seconds ahead of Warlord, so it's very much a 2-horse race. Kaiser not giving up on this one either, despite Fennec's better pace. He's still within that second. This is one of the closest battles out there on track. You still have Binding chasing down Escher for 13th position, just behind them actually, so we can continue to watch the fight for the lead from Binding's car.
Binding making a move past Escher.
Yeah, Asher just lacking a bit of traction on the outside, not really doing too much to defend that position either. As still very different approaches to a lot of these corners. That's one of the things I like about this track. There are a lot of different ways to take these corners, though some are, of course, well, not quite as good as others. As I think, was that JD you can see in the background? No, that is someone else, so that's probably Warlord about to lap them as well. The leader's still separated by just half a second now. One lap left to go when they cross the line.
I will say, Ultimate Kaiser, before they hit the main straight, was a second behind Fennec, but then going into the long left-hander, he gained significantly. So he's definitely used his boost button that lap, and I think Fennec will probably have his boost button for this lap.
Meanwhile, Matt's further behind, putting pressure on Video Gamer Guy for P5. Keep your eyes on that. Delta currently separated by 1 second with 1 lap to go. As we'll go cockpit cam to see exactly what Keza is doing here with his wheel to try and steal the win from Fennec. Interestingly enough, you can see Fennec taking the wider lines now that he's the car in front. Keza doing what Fennec did before. Hopefully the traffic doesn't get in their way. He's staying to the right-hand side. Ooh. Switching to the left, but not quite enough to get into Keza's way. Keza now right on Fennec's tail as they go into the back straight for the final time.
As who's going to press their boost button? Yeah, Fennec definitely slamming down on that boost button as he makes it all the way. I believe it's going to be a second going into probably one of the biggest hairpins known to man.
Yeah, Keza not quite able to challenge Fennec on this occasion. We'll have to save that for race 2 just a little bit later tonight. Just a couple corners left to go. Matt's getting closer and closer to Video Gamer Guy as well. Quickly take a look at that because he's now moving around the outside on the back straight. Can he send it later on the brakes?
Still side by side. Is he
off track? Oh, and he's absolutely slammed into those spectators as well.
That is a massive impact, but Fennec across the line to win race 1 of round 3 at Campo Grande. A very close battle with Ultimate Kaiser. Warlord finishing in P3. Eddie coming through the final bit of Sector 3, through the final corners to get P4, followed closely by Video Gamer Guy.
Yeah, Video Gamer Guy got a lot closer than I expected in the end there. Mats has lost a position to Exus. Could lose another one to Arid if he messes up any of these final corners with what is undoubtedly a very smashed up car at this point.
As across the line.
And that's become a bit of a tradition for unfortunate races. Has trouble now crossing the line in 9th position, very much on his own at this stage of the race. Had plenty of battles, but crosses the line without any playmates. Further behind, we still have Bernd and Andrew still to cross the line. You can see the wipers moving ever so slowly. It was only light rain for the session. A big blow to Andrew's championship lead. Now, if you looked at the amount of pit stops, you could see the no stop was in fact the best strategy, but Warlord with his 1-stop race did only end up 6.2 seconds from the lead. So definitely a viable strategy to come into the pits one time. You can see Mats went in twice, but I think one of those times was under safety car conditions. So you should not count that one as a viable strategy in normal circumstances.
You know what wasn't a viable strategy? Me potentially being mute for a while on the stream.
Oh.
So
when do you think it started?
I have no idea. I mean, to be honest, I've been trying to devour a burger, so that's
Nismo.
why.
Professionalism, come on.
What if I told you it was a Brazilian burger? Would that be okay?
Only if there's beans on it.
I can get a can.
I need photographic evidence.
Oh god, oh god.
Yeah, that was quite the outstanding result for Exus, it must be said, finishing in 6th position. He's been languishing towards the back of the grid most of the time. He won't really notice too much of it in the order for the second race, though, because, of course, P6, I think, will pretty much end you up on the same position for the reverse grid. But, yeah, it's definitely looking good for him tonight, scoring a lot of decent points.
Yeah, definitely a good drive. I mean, we saw a lot of other drive. Fennec, for one, you know, he's been consistent. That is for one thing, but and I think we have seen him at, I think it was last race, we saw him at the front as well. And I think clearly he's suiting to these cars very, very nicely.
Someone's asking if your Brazilian burger has a strip down the middle.
No, because it is unfortunately a full British burger. I lied.
Oh. Nismo once again spreading misinformation. Also, I just realized not a single commentator's curse in that first race.
No,
though the
good.
safety car enjoyers at least did get their wish. Although we once again did not see what actually caused that. So that's something we'll have to remember to ask the drivers post-race. Andrew commenting that he got shunted all over the place. Yes, we did notice that, especially in the early stages of the race. So hope the car didn't get too damaged. But either way, the result was not too great. But I think he still finished in the top 12, right? So he should have a pretty good spot for the reverse grid.
Yeah, as long as he's in the top 12, it should be reversed. But one thing I've definitely got to bring up now is, as the viewers can obviously see, I don't have any Subway Surfers up at the moment. And I did promise, I know I promised Minion Rush, but I couldn't find any good content. So I kindly asked a favor from my girlfriend, who has kindly sent over some runs that she's done. And I will bring them up on the screen so we can still absolutely vibe to some insane. So this isn't just like from a video. This is someone that I know's content. So, how's this? I have not played Minion Rush in actual years.
That actually makes me wonder, has she played the game in years, or has she been playing it consistently?
You know what? I think she might have just installed it for this occasion.
No trouble, we're not going back to Solomon. Not yet.
He's seen the endurance thing and he misses it.
Well, he can enjoy Minion Rush now, because that is very much an endurance style game.
It's got a suction cup? Not suction cup, like a Hoover. Okay. I've not seen this. So I did edit it up together, so there are multiple videos, but I have not actually seen, other than some bits and bobs that I've had to cut, like the ends.
I am miles behind, by the way, so whenever you comment on an object, I cannot see what you're talking about.
As heading down this, I don't think she has played it in a while. Thinking about it, she's still getting tutorial stuff.
Interesting.
But I think it's been a while for her as well. I'm going to keep
what the first cause of death is.
Oh, she's going right. Got the inside line. I do apologize for the ASMR, guys. Oh, it's definitely got quicker, that's for sure.
Now, we do have Video Gamer Guy asking for a nap. I don't think we ever had any channel point rewards on, not even on the Twitch side, for naps. So unfortunately, we cannot offer you that one, Video Gamer Guy, but it's good on you for asking. Instead of just, you know, napping without permission.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is, of course, consent #1 thing in the world.
Now, for those who missed the bean fact that we shared earlier, Brazil is in fact the world's largest producer of the common bean.
You're gonna find any moment to just put that in there.
As long as we're racing in Brazil.
Well, what is next race is at Salvador, I believe. So Argentina is Salvador.
I mean, I'm no expert
maybe
on South American cities, but when I hear that name, I think of El Salvador.
I would be surprised if Salvador, because I think Salvador the city. But who knows?
I mean, there are a lot of countries that just have like a city in the country named almost exactly the same as the country.
She swiped up on the I was just on another run. Did she just
Oh,
okay.
We're getting some complaints about Salvador in the chat.
No, Salvador's in a lovely. Okay, hold on. Have you raced Salvador before?
I probably have, but I like the name doesn't bring me any like layouts in my mind.
It looks like a banana. Wait, coincidence?
Yeah, I mean, I think I might. Wait, is it the one with the really sharp turn 1? Or like you start by going into a chicane and then it goes left?
Yeah, and then long left. Yeah, that one.
Okay, and then the final corner is also like kind of a hairpin chicane-ish type thing, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's gonna be chaos, that's for sure. We've seen plenty of death and destruction there in the past on the Tuesday races.
Especially track limits, that's for sure. I think that's gonna be one massive issue going through that chicane.
Ooh, we do have an additional question now about beans from Video Gamer Guy asking, what about the coffee bean? He loves those.
I'll be honest. I do drink coffee. I don't drink it as much now, but I definitely. I have. I'm more of an energy drink guy, unfortunately, but I don't touch caffeine as much now.
Speaking of touching, Andrew's saying that it's in fact our girlfriend instead of your girlfriend, Isma.
Absolutely not.
Now,
we're not in Russia.
As Nismo addresses the girlfriend allegations, I do now have the stats on which country produces the most coffee beans in the world. And Nismo, how about you have a guess?
Is it Brazil?
It is Brazil, absolute bean Chad country. Growing every single type you can imagine, they produce the most coffee beans and have been the leading producer for over 150 years.
Well,
so this isn't just minion Russian racing. This is simply education right here.
This is. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Brain Rot and Bean. So,
I do like how you kept bean outside of the brain rot to clarify that it does not contribute to brain rot, and in fact it grows your brain. Every time you learn a new bean fact, your brain it gains another wrinkle.
Well, Martin, if we ever meet, I'm gonna be really confused when I meet an old man.
No, it's not a wrinkle on your face. It's it's the opposite of being a smooth brain.
Oh, a wrinkle in the I mean, that would surprise me.
Wait, what would surprise you?
If you got a wrinkle every time that you got a bean fact.
I mean, your brain is storing extra information every time. You're practically flexing your brain muscles. That should make it grow.
Okay. I won't oppose that. I won't oppose that. Oh my god, you can drive cars in this game?
I do vaguely remember that. Although I still can't see what you're talking about.
You'll see it in a second. Hopefully.
We are about to start the second session, by the way, ladies and gents. This won't just end with Minion Rush and Bean Facts.
Aw, that's a shame.
Video Gamer Guide getting permission from one of our viewers to have a nap. See, isn't this just a wholesome community?
As I've been told to get back on the coffee. I would. I mean, I don't have. When I say I have energy drinks, that's like last minute. But I stay away from caffeine. Weirdly enough, at university I was absolutely awful for it. I think I had a coffee like 2-3 times a day.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was
Also,
when I was running on no sleep as well.
Yeah, good thing you didn't drink yourself to a heart attack. But I just saw the car you mentioned in the Minion Rush footage. Yeah, no, I do not remember that ever happening. That is definitely something new.
Like, maybe they've updated. I mean, I would be surprised. I have not played this game in years, but so
I mean, how many Minions movies are there at this point?
God, you know what? Genuinely, too much to count on one hand. I think.
Ooh.
I think there's got to be more than 5 Minion movies. No way. There's got to be more than 5.
I like how the YouTube stream said I was no longer live, so I click the live button, and it advances me like 0.2 of a second ahead. Like, the footage was practically uninterrupted when I went back to live.
Oh.
The drivers now getting their setups ready as well as their pit strategies in case they have damage or want to change tires. We will be starting with a significant dose of rain for race 2. And interestingly enough, we actually do have King Kodiak on the grid. Has he found a solution to his melted PC?
Maybe he's got someone else to drive for him. He's logged in on a different computer somewhere.
I mean, genuinely, you probably could just hop onto a gaming laptop and, you know, have a little cooling station under. That probably should be fine. I've only ever had, I think, one time when my computer shut down because of heating issues. And that was when I was playing Yakuza 0 in 40-degree heat at night in my room with no laptop cooler. And that thing still works, by the way. It's an absolute trooper of a laptop. Yeah, we're now getting the formation lap underway. Everyone getting into their correct positions according to the grid system.
Yeah, medium rain for race 2, and definitely gonna be maybe more predictable for the drivers, but that unpredictableness can still be in here. We are at second rain slot, which might happen around the halfway point of the race, is still there, so that could be anything from completely clear weather conditions, hazy, all the way up to storm and thunderstorming conditions.
Now, I just want to take a moment to address some of our special viewers, because of course we have the people that follow live, we have the people that watch the race afterwards, and I'd have to assume that, I mean, they want to see the action. They're probably going to fast forward through this part because they want to get to the start of the actual race, but to those very few who don't, I just want to let you know that we appreciate you. We know you exist.
Comment.
There's Jedlin there trying to taste some grass in turn 1.
Comment formation lap if you watched a formation lap.
I can just see how careful Jedlin's being. Clearly not using the cockpit cam, because otherwise he
yeah, I was gonna
would
say
not be able to see.
I was gonna say I cannot see. How can anyone hit the rain? I cannot see.
Now, well, be careful with what you're saying, Isma, because the YouTube content filter might think you're saying Nazi, and then you'll get demonetized.
No, see, you just said it then.
Well.
As
and
Jedlin's
he's,
off.
Getting another taste of grass. He's not the only one to go off in that corner, though I doubt that many others have done that on the formation lap. I think the leader is now coming to a standstill as the stragglers at the back are struggling to keep up on the formation lap, which is kind of interesting. See Trouble also deciding to have a taste of what remains of the green grass. A lot of it's not even green anymore.
What are the predictions into turn 1? Do you think we're gonna get a safety car?
Ooh, when's the last time we had such an early safety?
Ooh, Trouble!
You know, that kind of driving could well cause that early safety car. I'm saying we have a 60% chance of a safety car into turn 1.
That type of driving could cause an early heart attack, that's for sure. Trouble coming absolutely flying into that. I'm very, very worried for a lot of the drivers.
Oh, I'm just noticing as well on the stream, you're getting angles I'm not getting with the trackside camera. I'm kind of jealous.
Some of them are quite bad, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think the bad ones are the ones that I'm getting as well. Those are the ones that shares.
As Cuckoo leading the way, followed by Andrew.
Barent, Arid, and even Matt's behind. Watch Matt's. He's probably going to make up quite a few positions here.
And we're racing for round 3, race 2, as we head into the first corner. Are we going to see any late breakers? Are we going to see contact?
Are we going to see anything with all that spray? You can see Barent almost tapping the rear of Matt's. Matt's side by side with Arid through turn 1. Has managed to work himself up into P3. Now Jedlin has immediately pitted. So could that have been that he started on slick tires in these conditions? That's an absolute, not even a gamble, it's just a miscalculation as the positions continue to shuffle in the mid-pack. Arid having a look at Matt's, can't quite get anything done there. Barent looking up Exus's tailpipe as he's going a little bit wide. Are there people in the grass? I think there are. Let's try and find out.
We get 3 cars off!
Ricky, Escher, and... No, not Jedlin. He's still just back there in the pits. And Eddie as well. Eddie also recovering back onto the track.
And I think we're going to see another safety car.
Yes, we do. So that's Cuckoo still leading under the safety car. We did get one in lap 1, just not in turn 1.
And my prayers have been answered. We've had 2 races tonight, both with safety cars. I mean, this evening could not get better. I mean, we had George Russell. Car blew up yesterday. Oh, what an amazing... I'm kidding. I'm kidding to all those George Russell fans out there.
And he's your compatriot.
I would rather have Kimi win.
Wow.
Easily.
Oh. No, I will say Antonelli's done a tremendous job at turning around his championship chances. I honestly thought that he would be Valtteri Bottas 2.0, but he's absolutely proven himself to be more than capable by taking a record that no other driver has now of his first 4 wins being consecutive ones. As for this race, though, we'll see how many people come into the pits after that safety car. The contact seems to be quite light, so they might actually get started again here. No, they don't. Well, we do have Ricky and Eddie in the pits. Could this be for a tire change? Doesn't appear to be for Eddie nor for Ricky. I think just minor aero damage on both cars. It's going to be very interesting to see what the top 3 do on the restart. Matt's gained positions on the first rolling start. The restart's obviously going to be a rolling start as well, so if he gains another 2 positions, he will catapult himself into the lead. It's definitely not a given, though, with both Cuckoo and Andrew, 2 very seasoned drivers in the front.
Yeah, Andrew known for his aggressive driving, Cuckoo known for an absolutely amazing defense. So we'll see what they can do up against the alien and position abductor himself, Mats.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew's definitely known for his aggressiveness, but not always just in driving. It's quite frequently been in rejoins as well. I'm never gonna let him live that down. That Spain rejoin, it's engraved into my retinas.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew's car is engraved into some part of trouble still. Let's put it that way.
Can you imagine how scared that man must be every time he sees Andrew on track?
So that you understand that's how I feel every single time I drive an F1 car with trouble, because it's every time we've always ended up clashing. I mean, I've been rear-ended, sideswiped. Sometimes it has been to lag, a lot of A-class things, but all that emotion builds up.
So you're saying that's why you lash out and crash people out on Tuesdays?
It lashes out with unnecessary
violence.
Borderline violence.
As we're about to get underway for the second part of this race.
Cuckoo leading the way in lap 3. And off they go, not getting the best start. Matt's getting a tremendous run, very much sniffing the back, but someone with a better run, Arid, just behind.
Oh, Arid a little bit vulnerable to excess on the exit there. You could see Matt's had a good run, but he just had nowhere to go as Andrew defensive into turn 1, and successfully so, it must be said. Cuckoo still leads this race. The entire field now bunched up into one group again. A good chance for Ricky and Eddie to regain some positions. As you can see, Matt's now side by side with Andrew. No, he's not quite able to pull alongside just yet.
Heading through turn 5 they go.
Oh,
Cuckoo.
And we have a driver off. It's Ricky again. The first commentator's curse of the night.
Oh. As Matt's actually looking for a move on Andrew. Andrew going semi-defensive, then leaving the door open. Matt looks a bit for a second. Has he pressured Andrew into going wide? No, he has not. Andrew keeping his cool against the champion.
All right, I've written down the new curse count. And you can just see how little space there is. If Matt makes any sort of mistake and Andrew gets a tap, that will be a significant incident. But they're all keeping it clean for now. You can see each individual droplet of water on that car head. As the positions continue to shift behind, but Matt's poised to take second place around the outside of turn 1. Is he going to send it on the brakes? No, he's thinking better of it.
Andrew a lot later on the brakes and's gone too deep. Matt's with the switchback, pressuring Andrew into going deep there.
And that is, of course, very well driven by Matt, because it's very easy to just repeat the mistake that your opponent makes in front of you. Andrew now being pressured by Arid in 4th, and just behind there's a spin.
Oh, hopefully.
It's excess. It won't let me select this car. There we go. Massively unfortunate. That sent him to the back of the grid. As he does an extra donut off the track. I think Ricky will be getting that 17th position. You can see him there in the background. But we must focus on the fights in the midfield. It's still very, very tight. Lap 5 of 19.
As they come
ahead. Almost 3 wide into the very fast left-hander after the main straight. People shuffling left, right, and center. Warlord, our new onboard car. And you can just see how little you can see.
Oh, a bit of contact there between Video Gamer Guy and Fennec, it seems. Warlord trying to poke his nose, but just not having as much alongside. You can see how slowly they trickle through that corner there.
Yeah, there's just no grip. It's further behind as well. It's still very close. That almost looked like JD losing the rear on the straight, but he's kept it going. Do we see any offs in turn 1?
Oh, Eddie with a very long lunge down the inside. Contact between Eddie and JD. JD off the track. Eddie giving him the position back, but that could definitely be a potential ticket right there. Eddie completely missing his braking zone.
Yeah, choosing to give himself the gentleman's penalty there. Very unfortunate, but glad to see sportsmanship in the league. But yeah, I will say that is our second commentator's curse of the night. That one going to... who should we assign that to? I mean, we can't give it to Eddie, right? Because he was not the car that went off track. It's for JD. There we go.
I guess.
Back to the fight for the lead. It's currently just 3/10 separating the top two. Matt's chasing down Cuckoo, getting faster and faster every lap. They've pulled ahead of the cars behind. We've lost someone from this race. We're down to 17 drivers now. I think it's once again King Kodiak. He's out of the race.
That is a shame. He tried to come back, but the virtual water could not cool his computer down as much as physical.
I mean, yeah, you have to think the rendering all of the rain particles and stuff. That probably does put a bit of a bigger strain on the computer than usual. So, would his PC have been fine in a dry race?
Potentially. I mean, one thing's for sure. When I first started streaming, was Matt actually looking for a move around the outside. He goes. Does he get it? Stops. It was very late on the brakes. He's got it stopped, but I don't know if he's going to manage to get the exit that Cuckoo will. That was very deep on the brakes there.
Yeah, a lot of faith in the grip there. As you can see, the track is still clearly very, very wet. But despite that, they're still pulling away from Andrew, currently in third, still being pressured a little bit by Aaron behind. Keza currently Matt's teammate in 5th place. Video Gamer Guy down in 8th. Fennec, I think he's got more to offer in 7th place. Further down the field, we still have Eddie chasing down JD, looking for a fair overtake this time as well. A little further up ahead, Jedlin chasing down Binding, who's having a better time than last race, I think.
I was waiting for Binding to go off there. Yeah, I mean, I think this, whoa, as Eddie touches a bit too much of the curb and his rear wing's gone!
If only he had spun off like 5 meters further, he would have gone into that little section with no tires. And there was another car off, it's Excess. Although he does get to keep his wing, unlike the unfortunate Italian.
The one thing...
The lead continues. Matt's now only 2/10 apart from a potential win. Hold on. Yeah, there we go.
One thing's for sure, the weather is definitely clearing up. See a lot less drizzle coming down.
As Matt's once again sending it around the outside of turn 1. Will he make it this time? He overestimated his grip before. Stays on track. Can he hold it? No, he can't. Just impossible to do while it's still this wet. And they have started to lose time now. Andrew's taken a full second out of them this lap.
Cuckoo with an absolute masterful lesson in defensive driving here. Just holding the middle of the track.
As we do now have confirmation that King Kodiak's PC overheated it for a second time. So very, very unfortunate there. Eddie coming into the pits. Now, of course, that is to replace his wing, so we were expecting that. Back to the fight for P1 now. Who's going to use boost? I think it may well be Cuckoo on this lap. Also, to answer Kodiak's question, I don't believe he took anyone out. We saw some people go off, but we saw what caused that, and I do not think he was involved.
Cuckoo going a bit wide for this corner. Matt's drastically gaining, even with Cuckoo pressing that boost button. Cuckoo's got to try and make at least a little gap this lap.
That rhymes as Barent chases down a Video Gamer Guy. Got very, very close in the previous corner, leaving each other just mere centimeters of space. And this is the slowest part of the track. You could practically run through here faster than what these cars can do. So no overtakes there for now. Will Mats try and send it around the outside of turn 1 for a 3rd lap running?
The Cuckoo in the center of the track once again.
Matt's opting for switchback, but it's just so hard to do in a long hairpin like that. Has to hope for more in the corners that follow. Andrew, though, has once again lost a second to them now, so it's again a 2-horse race. No pressure from Aaron behind. Keza still hunting for 4th.
I wonder though, as heading into turn 5, the leaders. I remember Cuckoo using their boost button last lap. So I'm curious to see if Mats uses his this lap, and potentially we could see an overtake.
That'd be interesting to see indeed. Mats with the potential to run away with this race if he overtakes Cuckoo and makes no more mistakes afterwards. You can see the gap now. He's using his boost. He's going around the outside of the back straight, and he's already pulled ahead.
Absolutely no defense when that boost button comes on and you don't have a boost button yourself. There's not too much you're able to do, unfortunately, and I think Matt's maybe not spending his boost button on the lap he normally uses it on and just waiting, knowing that he could get gain in the corners and just easily passed on the straight now the lap later.
But you can just see how much more sideways he is compared to Cuckoo.
Oh.
That could cost him tires, as that's Eddie off the track, rejoining safely. Oh, well. Curse number 3. Back now to the fight with Binding and Trouble. It's actually, Bernd has inserted himself into this one now. It's a 3-way fight for 8th. Cuckoo currently 8 tenths behind the leader, so not putting a lot of immediate pressure on their opponent.
Eddie letting them all go by. Very, very close between these 4 drivers here.
You know, actually, I've just noticed something. You know Eddie's livery, right?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the BeamNG YouTuber Muya?
No.
Well, that is also an Italian who does racing and a whole bunch of other crazy things. And whenever he drives a car in that game, it is almost always the exact same shade of blue as Eddie's car. I have to wonder if he's inspired by his Italian compatriot, as he's now let the entire field through as to not interfere with the fights. Cuckoo, though, has now gained a little bit more on Mats again. The gap down to just half a second. Oh, and Kays has gotten arid. Kays up into 4th.
Yeah, definitely be thanks to the boost button, that's for sure.
Are you saying Kays cannot overtake without the boost?
I'm saying in these conditions around this track, it is very difficult to. Talking about things that are difficult. Trouble.
Trouble, you have been called a difficult thing.
Finding it difficult to find grip out there.
A good recovery, though. He did not lose a lot of time spinning like that.
Did a Max Verstappen-esque spin.
Yeah, it's just maybe not as optimistic as to spin and win it down from P11. Only 9 laps left in this race. Current race leader is Mats VR46, chased down by Cuckoo. Andrew in 3rd. No hope of catching the 2 ahead if things continue as they have. Keza, though, putting pressure on him for that final podium spot. Arid there to pick up the pieces if anything goes wrong. Fennec, he's had great pace, but we've not really seen too much from him this race. Warlord, same story just behind. Bernd has managed to, well, get ahead of Trouble as he's spun off the track. Binding stays behind in 9th. As Ricky now pits.
Yeah, Ricky not having the best of races tonight. Looking like one of the top contenders now, unfortunately. This race not looking like he's able to contend in the wet conditions.
Yeah, and it's looking like Keza is gaining quite a bit here on the straight to Andrew. You've definitely seen that they're both very capable in these cars. Who's going to come out on top? Can't quite predict it. Oh, well, Andrew using the Trouble strategy of touching grass. Keza getting a lot of inside curve. It's kind of set him off. Oh, offset his car for the next corner.
Surprisingly, that grass touching, not losing Andrew all too much time.
Well, I mean, in these conditions, the grass probably has about as much grip as the wet track, but yeah. See him putting more and more pressure on. We'll follow them into turn 1, but just behind there's multiple battles forming as well. Can Keza send it here? No, he is going to save that for later. So let's go back a little bit. See Video Gamer Guy putting pressure on JD for 12th position. A little further up ahead, Jedlin doing the same for Trouble. So we go back to... That's the wrong car. There we go, Video Gamer Guy into turn 1. And he sent it.
Down the inside, JD has left room. They're both just sliding and JD still able to come out on top.
Yeah, I think Video Gamer Guy just having to scrub off a little bit too much speed to stay on that inside curb. It's cost him dearly. Stays 13th for now. Andrew still on Kaze's front bumper. Fennec starting to catch Arid, so this could turn in. If Arid can stay with the two ahead, this could turn into a 4-car fight for the final podium place. But I think Andrew now using his boost on that occasion. Cooker now 1.5 seconds away from the lead.
Well, Andrew's gone very wide. Or maybe that's everyone seeming to take a wider approach now through that corner.
I mean, it is still quite wet. As a video gamer guy now looking once again to the inside of JD.
JD once again leaving the room on the inside.
Leaving a lot of room.
Almost losing the rear end on the outside as well, but that's going to be video gamer guy making it past JD. I think just scaring him, making him go a bit wide, and allowing video gamer guy just to slip up the inside there.
As we have P9 binding now coming in to the pit lane as well. I wonder if we're going to be seeing a lot more of that. There's not that many laps left in this race, but if the tires are really falling off a cliff, I can potentially see why. Undoubtedly, though, we'll have some drivers who are going to stay out on track for the whole race, brave it out on maybe less than ideal tires.
They are absolutely sliding it, and the rain conditions aren't even that bad anymore now. I'd say they're at least a lot easier than they were to begin with, but I guess as well you also got to look at the temperatures and the fact that we no longer have a really wet track, and I mean you can see them all trying to go on the wetter part of the circuit as Fennec makes a move on Arid around the outside.
Manages to close the door going into the corner, so move done. Fennec up to 5th, and he's close enough to Keza to start challenging now for 3rd. Andrew still holding on by the skin of his teeth. It's looking to be an exciting conclusion to this race, not for the win, but for the podium. Oh, and just Arid sliding in the background all cinematically. Beautiful to see. Further back, we still have Jedlin and Binding. Well, we had Jedlin and Binding quite close.
Unfortunately,
add that one to the curse list.
Jedlin making a very unfortunate mistake there. Oh, we can see Osmo Kaiser dive it down the inside. He decides to stay behind, going into the hairpin.
Yeah, not a whole lot of curses in the first round tonight, but the second one is quite a bit more of a productive session for us, it must be said.
Yeah, I think this is the most curses we've done this season now. And we considering we had none in the first race, we've clearly had two nice of a season.
I think Warlord may well be joining this fight as well. He's in Arid's mirrors. Okay, is at the moment not quite putting as much pressure on Andrew as I'm sure he'd be wanting to. Will it all come down to the boost as Asher now in the pits? And I think something might have happened to Axis. He's down here fighting with Binding for 14th place. But that is not the fight that we are watching. Aaron having a look on Fennec and spinning it very late into this high-speed corner. Somehow doing so without forcing Fennec into the eternal grass fields.
They're still side by side.
Oh! Our camera car has become the next casualty. Arid's still ahead of Fennec, but using incredibly strange lines.
Oh, and a bit more contact.
But it's in a slow part of the track, so they do survive. But this has dropped them massively off the back of Keza and Andrew. Speaking of which, Keza not really on the back of Andrew anymore. And I think Arid is either really struggling with the rear there or he's trying to let Fennec through. Still kind of hard to tell by the end of the straight, but Fennec now back into P5.
Into P5.
Warlord managing to not lose any positions as JD now pits. What's this for? Probably for tires, okay.
I do wonder, I mean, there isn't any dry line, and at this point in the race, even if there was, I wouldn't try and risk it as...
Oh, and that's Keza. Keza's off the track. He's down in the 6th.
That is incredibly unfortunate there for Ultimate Keza.
It has cost him about 6 seconds. So either that was a very quickly recovered spin or just a very, very slow half spin. It has cost him 2 spots, now no longer fighting for a podium. Just fighting for relevancy now with P5. Tough conclusion to Kaze's race. He's been very consistent. Meanwhile, his teammate proving to be even more consistent out there in the lead, about to lap Ricky once again. It's been a disastrous evening for a driver that has the pace to lead these races.
Yeah, very well put. It's surprising to see a driver of Ricky's caliber all the way at the back of the field.
As not at the back of the field, we have Jedlin overtaking JD.
It's JD, yeah, going straight on, not getting the braking zone. Correct there.
We have Keza and Warlord both in the pits. 2 drivers that have recently had an off coming in. So maybe it's not even a matter of coming in for faster tires. Maybe it's just coming in for tires that aren't going to kill them.
As we see a spin behind as well.
That's Barent. Warlord's teammate. They've both had issues now. It's quite interesting. In race 1, I think we had a brief period of time where they were both struggling as well. So not an ideal evening for them, but still good points on offer for Barent. Warlord, his teammate, still behind. Fighting it out with Keza. Was that a tap?
Oh, I worried that it was.
Oh, yeah. That's taking him so long to recover as well. It's absolutely wrecked both of their races. Gravel in this game, it acts like glue. You will not be recovering from that very quickly whatsoever. Condemned now to the lower positions. Jedlin getting involved. Where is Keza? Has he given up on letting Warlord back through?
Yeah, it looks to be. Has ended up accelerating away from Warlord as Jedlin overtakes him.
Yeah, I think you could see there Keza intending to give the place back, but running out of patience. So if that one does get taken to the stewards, that running out of patience will be taken into account into the ticket. Fascinating things here as this race nears its conclusion. Video Gamer Guy chasing down Trouble for 6th position. 23 seconds off the lead. Still belonging to Mats. I think the gap to Cuckoo in second has stabilized somewhat now. Still at 3.5 seconds. So we go on board with the Video Gamer Guy. You can see turning left to go right. Classic strategy. Keeping the revs extra low as well.
Yeah, I mean,
just controlling that wheel spin.
One thing that I do, especially in rain weather, is I always try to be sometimes a gear up, further up than what I would normally be in, say, the dry.
That's something I wish I was able to do on automatic gears. It always puts me in the wrong gear, I'm telling you. But no, that's definitely a skill issue as we're on to the final 3 laps now. I think Video Gamer Guy's struggling to really get much closer to Trouble. Let's quickly check their latest lap times. It was a slower one for Trouble on that last occasion, but he seems to have picked up the pace somewhat.
Yeah, Video Gamer Guy. Hopefully trying to make inroads. 2-second difference right now from P6
also,
to P7.
Who's the second driver that we've lost? Because we're down to 16. I'm not sure when we lost that second driver.
Let's see. I don't see a binding.
Ooh, yeah, he is out. So Binding, unfortunately, retiring from the second race. Thank you for spotting that, Ismo. We have Trouble now getting closer to Aaron. Could this develop into a 3-car fight on the final lap? Fight for P5. Aaron, Trouble, and Video Gamer Guy.
I mean,
they've been up and down the grid multiple times in these 2 races tonight.
P6 is good. Still good position.
That is Trouble very much going off, but very grateful for that bit of asphalt there, I'm sure.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the wet weather earlier mixed with as off goes, everyone's starting to make small mistakes, so Trouble once again closing in. There's about a second difference now between them.
This is within striking distance if you have the boost button. Had a yellow flag in sector 1, but it has already been cleared. And you can just see the drivers tiptoeing through these lengthy corners, not using too much of the downforce. Trouble once again using much of the grass. Not the first time in that corner.
As I believe we are going to get a freeway fight on the last lap of this race. They come through the final turn to head on to the last lap.
Matt's currently still leading this race. Cuckoo dropping a little bit, almost getting within the clutches of Andrew now in Excess's dirty air. Just wanna quickly, as Trouble has a twitch in the first corner. Not enough to give Video Gamer Guy any new positions.
Absolutely sliding that rear through every corner, trying to find any sort of time that can just propel his car past.
You can just see the different lines, the drifting lines, the off-the-track lines. Everyone trying their best to take home P5. So Mats is now going through the final sector. I think Trouble's got a good shot at getting past Arid here, but they might both be using their boost on the same lap.
I think they might be getting away from Video Gamer Guy. I think he's going to have to try and pick up the scraps from this battle as Trouble looks down the inside. A bit deep into the corner, almost off the track, and that has left Video Gamer Guy a chance, a very small one, but a chance to try and make an overtake through the last sector as Matt crosses the line. Cuckoo following in P2, Andrew in P3, Matt in P4, but who will it be?
Something's happened to Trouble. He's been off. As soon as we cut away, he's gone off the track and he's lost positions. Now trying to defend desperately from Keza. Keza manages to slip through and Baron stays behind. He's off the track as well.
I'm very curious to see what happened there.
It's so unfortunate that we that just had to coincide with the race winner crossing the line, but we'll have to see what that exactly was in the interviews as Warlord finishing behind his teammate this race. JD crossing the line very soon in 11th if he can keep it on track. Jedlin not far back with a back marker right behind him.
That's Eddie?
Who is that? I guess that is Eddie. Yeah, Eddie right behind.
If only Escher and Ricky left across the line in the mustard and ketchup livery.
And in the very risque mustachioed anime livery comes Ricky in 14th.
So race 2 with Matt taking the win. Cuckoo not managing to hold off Matt, but managing to keep P2. Andrew in P3, Fennec in P4, Arid in P5, Video Gamer Guy in P6, Ultimate Kaiser in P7, Trouble in P8, Burns in P9, Warlord in P10, JD in P11, Jedlin in P12, Escher in P13, Ricky in P14, Exus P15, and Eddie in P16 with both binding and Kodiak disconnecting.
Now, it doesn't say a lot considering the conditions, but the fastest lap this race does go to Warlord in 10th. No points for that this season, however.
Well,
just bragging rights.
Talking about points, you've got it wrote down. How many did we get tonight for commentator curses?
Well, Nismo, I can let you know those exact scientific numbers. The first curse tonight, that one went to Ricky in race 2. The second curse went to JD, also race 2. Eddie was the lucky recipient of curse number 3, also in race 2. And Jedlin took home the final curse of the night.
So I believe that is actually more than double. Not double, that is more than what we've had the entire season. and that will put us from 3 commentator curses this season all the way up to 7.
Yes, it does. And I'm quickly seeing, do we have any drivers that have been cursed twice so far? No, we've somehow managed to equally curse all drivers. Well, we haven't cursed everyone once, but everyone that we have cursed, we've only cursed once.
Well, talking about the drivers, we've got a lot of drivers in the ready to interview booth. And who should we bring in? I see who won race 1? I'm trying to think now. My short-term memory is not helping me. I believe, was it I'm gonna see if someone's posted it anywhere. I can't remember. God,
It's not in the race results yet.
It's Fennec, of course it is. Let's bring in Fennec.
Greetings, Fennec.
Hello.
Can see that you've got trouble joining us for this interview in the IRL background now. Tell us a bit about your evening. You were massively competitive tonight, though in race 2 it might not have panned out the way you wanted.
Race 2 was alright. I didn't manage to cut through the field quite as effectively as some others, and unfortunately Burned and Video Gamer Guy specifically were quite good at keeping me behind for quite a while there, but yeah, decent race. The tyres were a bit sketchy at the end, the heat of it.
Yeah, we did figure that the temperature was going to be playing quite a role as well. A lot of unexpected pit stops. Now, at the start of race 1, you ended up starting on pole, if I'm not mistaken, despite, I think, Ricky getting a faster lap. Was that due to a penalty on his end?
Yes, Kaiser explained this before the race. He had a 2-place grid penalty from an incident last race.
See, that confused me, though, because didn't he just drop 1 place?
He did, but only because Matt's spam. So he dropped because the rule with spinning is if you spin off the track, you go back to the back of the grid. So he gave back both positions, and then one of them was relinquished.
Yeah. That makes absolute perfect sense now, and I remember it was quite a dramatic moment when we did catch that. But yeah, that is very, very unfortunate. But Mats, I think, started his redemption arc early by winning that second race. Who did you enjoy fighting the most, Fennec? Was it yourself, the tires, the car, the weather, or any of your opponents?
The weather was definitely an interesting one. Track as well. Interesting combination there. But I think it's hard to single out one person, largely because in the 2 races it was 2 different people. There was a good battle there with Kaiser in the first one, and then Arid was another good battle in the second one, actually. Good few battles there. So
one moment I do recall in, I believe, your first race, Fennec, was when you pulled away with Trouble and the race leader, and it was just you 3, and then we cut to a midfield battle, and suddenly Trouble's nowhere to be seen. Do you know what happened there?
Yes, I believe it was towards the start of when the light rain started to come, and one corner in particular became a bit sketchier, and I almost went off in that corner, and Trouble unfortunately did. I think for whatever reason, for the rest of the race there, he was struggling with the balance of the car in the corner. So
was it the corner before the back straight?
Yes, it was the corner onto the back straight.
Yeah, we saw a good amount of cars fly off of the track right there. I think that might have even caused one of the safety cars tonight. So that was certainly interesting to see. But I mean, considering your good pace and your very good start to that first race, how much practice did you put in? Because you were killing it in qualifying too.
I can't say I did a lot of practice. I did more than I normally do by joining with 20 minutes left of the practice session. But my cheat code in this was following Mia and Ricky around in the practice session. Get their lines. Managed to speed me up quite a lot, that one.
Wow, taking inspiration from his rivals. Now, setup-wise, is it just similar to what you've been racing at all the other tracks, or did you use something special here?
Um, a couple of things I set up specially. I made a setup before the first round, used that at the first round, and then made some changes for the second one for the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And then for this, there was almost carrying over some of the airport changes, doing some other new changes.
Changes galore, and plenty of changes in position as well that we saw tonight. Do you think there's going to be any race that will, well, do you think there's any races left on the calendar that will be more challenging to drive, just like taking the weather and the tracks into consideration?
I believe the next one's El Salvador Street Circuit, so I think that one,
Even in the dry?
even in the dry, it's a very tight
Ooh.
circuit.
Yeah, that's,
Some slidey
that's
cars. It's going to be interesting.
definitely true. We could see people getting squeezed into barriers, though, of course, that will lead to reports.
I don't know
what
why
were you
they
about to say,
didn't
Gizmo?
turn Salvador into the wet circuit.
Listen,
See, that
you
would've-
like to carnage far too much.
But my final question for you, Fennec, is have you heard the two bean facts that we've discussed on stream today?
Oh, I think I heard one of them before the race in the practice server, but I'm not sure. I know
Was it
both
the
of
one
them.
about the common beans or the coffee beans?
Common bean?
Yeah, so apparently Brazil is also the world's leading producer in coffee beans.
I believe I did know that. Did
Oh, see,
I
this
don't remember
bean
where I know
knowledge,
that
it's
from, but
baked
it's
in.
definitely one of them.
This bean knowledge is baked into the British population. I'm saying it now.
No,
Do
just
you have
race
any more-
winners.
Do you have any more questions for our first race winner, Nismo?
No, other than congratulations on on getting when I saw you on qualifying on pole, I was like, how much practice has he done? And it doesn't surprise me that you've only done 20 and still up there. So still absolutely fascinating driving.
Yeah, it's the first time I'd done this track, which I think in hindsight actually helped me because everyone else wasn't quite so settled with the track either.
I mean, this is the MSR's first official. Ignoring, I think we've done one or two casual Tuesday events at this track. I think this is MSR's first official time at Campo Grande. So I mean, out of 10, how would you rate the track? Rain excluded in the vote.
How would I rate the track? For these cars, I think it was actually a very good track. I think 7 or 8 is possibly fair. Maybe slightly better in the dry than there wasn't.
I'm very glad you didn't go slightly worse and say the other two numbers.
We already had that today, Martin. We don't need it again.
It's everywhere. But thank you very much for coming on, Fennec. We look forward to see how you do at that even more dangerous track next week.
All right. Not looking forward to it, but we'll see.
All right,
See you
have a
next
good
time.
one.
Cheers. All right.
Wow.
Who will we bring on next? We have Warlord in there. He was P3 in race 1 and ended up in 10th in race 2.
We've got Andrew, I think, finished P3 as well. We've got...
He was 11th in race 1, so we'll go ahead and bring in Warlord. Welcome, Warlord.
Hello, hello.
Now, first and foremost, I must congratulate you on that first podium.
Yep. Thank you.
You said earlier that you were enjoying the current heat wave, but you might not be once the race gets started. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling fine, a bit sweaty, but I'm okay.
Still actively enjoying it, or just meh?
Yeah, I enjoyed this. This was a very fun races, yeah.
All right, that's what we love to hear. Now, tell us a bit about how you managed to clinch that podium in race 1, because it was definitely a competitive one with quite a bit of action.
Yeah, it was basically, it came down to having the correct tires. Starting on the wets was the correct call. I immediately saw Mats going wide during the rolling start. I also saw Phoenix really struggling, so yeah, I passed those two very fast. wasn't it for the safety car? I think a win was possible because it bailed out a lot of people that were on the wrong tire.
Yeah, and that's interesting as well because I'm looking at the number of pit stops here. You were the top car that did do a pit stop. The top two did not do a pit stop. So do you think you could have still been up that high with no change of tires?
No, you needed to change. The top two started on the slicks, and because of the safety car, they got bailed out. Without the safety car, they would have lost so much pace, and I don't think they would have been up there.
Interesting. We'll have to hope that those conditions don't repeat themselves in the next rain race. For race 2, you struggled quite a bit more. I think there were a lot of battles still, but you ended up 10th. Tell us how you got there.
I mean, I didn't struggle. I just got punted off the track twice. That's what pretty much ruined it for me.
So that is a form of social struggle right there. You've been bullied tonight.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so I think I will have some reports for today.
Well, it's. I mean, you're definitely not the only driver to go off track today. We saw quite a few people escorting themselves off, even. So that was quite entertaining to see. Which corner was the toughest for you around this track?
Ooh, well, I don't think I had a corner that I struggle with a lot. Maybe not the sharp hairpin. Is it turn 3? I believe it's like a semi hairpin.
Yeah.
That corner took forever to dry out, so you had to really be cautious there, even on the slicks, because it was way wetter there.
Good insight. Yeah, that's stuff that might not always be visible on the trackside camera. So even if the track does look good, sometimes you just cannot go for different lines when when half the track is wet. But even if it's dry, sometimes too many marbles, you'll fly off the track. Either way, I think you did quite a good job. Now, you said that a win was on the cards. Do you think that you'll be able to say the same for any of the future dry races on the calendar?
Maybe. I do think the variable weather is where I'm a bit stronger in, but yeah, who knows? Maybe in a dry race, you just need Mats to make mistakes then, I guess.
I mean, he did make a mistake tonight off on the formation lap.
Yeah, that's correct.
Though he did, of course, win that second one. So it goes to show, no matter how bad your first race is, you still have a good chance in the second one. Thank you very much for coming on, Warlord.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good, and we'll see you next time. I think the next up will be Andrew.
Yep, see you next time.
There we go. We bring him in. He's streaming? Absolutely not.
He was streaming.
Our turn now.
Mr. P8 Merchant, you spent a lot of time near that position in race 1.
Did I? I was a bit lower than that, wasn't I?
Well, you were fighting around P8, P9 for a while, and then you ended up lower than that eventually.
Yeah, I was getting fucked up.
Yeah, tell us about your experience, because I did literally call you the punching bag of the grid at some point during race 1.
Well, made the correct decision at the start of the race, unlike my championship rivals, may I add. Started on the wets. They were bailed out by the most ridiculous safety car call I have ever seen, by the way,
Ooh.
race 1. I'm sorry to say, because Exus is my teammate, but that is absolutely disgraceful safety car call.
So you're saying you could well get a Class D penalty for unjustified safety car?
It has to happen. If it doesn't happen, I mean, it's rigged. It's rigged.
Ooh,
I'll tell you
fascinating.
what
Tell us more.
happens. Exus has wheel spin because he is on the wrong tyre in a straight line, goes into the side of Eddie, and then he goes into the wall. So that's one out. And then Eddie and Matt's hit like 3 seconds later. And then like another 5 seconds after that, Matt loses it all by himself on throttle and goes into the wall. And Eddie continues driving like nothing happened. And then safety car gets called for that. I'm absolutely seething because that fucked over my race.
I have seen some edge cases before when it comes to safety car calls. That one definitely sounds like it'll be tough to justify.
Assuming is what the safety car was called for, because
yes,
I'm questioning it. It's like
it could have been off.
Who in their right mind calls a safety car there?
Well, that's definitely something to look forward to on the Tuesday. Sorry, not Tuesday. Thursday night stewards meeting. You got a podium in race 2. Congrats for that, by the way. It's another good haul of points for your championship lead. Tell us about how you got there.
Reverse grid, and then blocked for a while, and then the people behind me killed each other. So there you go. I had
No,
no
that's def-
pace in the rain in either race. Absolutely no pace.
So, I mean, we did see you stick to the rear end of Cuckoo for quite a while. Were you just hanging on for dear life, or were you actively trying to overtake anywhere, or?
In the wet, I was completely dropped by Mats and Cuckoo. Then I was slightly faster than Cuckoo in the dry conditions on the wet tire, but I never got closer than like 2 seconds behind in race 2. I think I ended like 1.5 behind.
Yes, I can confirm that's around about the gap that you had at the end. So, do you think with a few more laps you would have made it?
Possibly. Hard to say. One thing catching isn't another passing.
Do you think these double format races would be better if they were extended a little bit? Or does that not apply to every one of them?
No, I think 2 half-an-hours is fine. I'd like the break in between to be lowered a bit. These boomers.
Well, to be honest, it was shorter. It was shorter this time. I believe it was only 6 minutes.
Cut that down to 5. Honestly, easily do that shit back to back.
I mean, Andrew.
I'm not
we're
45,
racing.
man.
We're racing in virtual Brazil, land of the beans.
Yeah, beans.
What else are the people going to eat their common beans and drink their coffee beans?
Yeah, drinking raw beans. Good luck with that.
I mean, if you're really hardcore.
Yeah.
Smash them in your hand and drink it out your palm.
Yeah, that's how it works, right?
That's a secret ancient recipe right there. But Andrew, now you did say that you were punched around quite a bit in that first race. How many tickets do you think you'll raise after tonight?
I'm not going to send any because I'm not a bitch.
Oh, okay.
I ain't a fucking bitch. And it'd be pretty hypocritical for me to send reports in for minor contact like that with some of the moves I've made in the past. So
that is very, very self-aware. Now, that does lead to the question, though. What would it take for you to raise a ticket?
Probably if it benefited me in the championship position.
So anything to do with Mats or Fennec?
Yeah, neither Mats nor Fennec hit me today, so I can't be bothered.
A purely pragmatic view of the situation. You have it there,
I mean,
ladies and gents.
they're not penalties anyway. They're on the dry tires and I'm still on the wet, so they just send it up the inside and I just keep turning in. So they do just shove me out of the way, but I mean, I don't care. Go for it.
I think in the end we all had quite a bit of fun with these races tonight. It was, I mean, truth be told, a bit more interesting than the ones last time, because last time it was just constant overtakes all the time in every place, and it was all very, very similar. Now I think we saw some more unique overtaking and incidents in tonight's race. So for the people watching back later, you have that to look forward to.
You're so spoiled. Oh, there's so many overtakes last week. You're so
yeah, but it's like the difference between seeing the same Indy car overtake 50 times in the Indy 500 and seeing Antonelli and Russell tussle for the lead in Canada. It's such a different situation. Now, I will say IndyCar has its strengths, but I don't enjoy seeing the lead change 12 times in 12 laps with exactly the same identical moves every time.
Did you see the ending of the Indy 500 though?
Yes, they had their closest ever finish, less than half of that.
That was cinema.
They do end up with these sprints at the end quite often with the late cautions.
I will ask one question before we have to let you go, and that is, we've had. I know that you said you absolutely hated these rain conditions, but we had 3 different types of rain. We had storm, light rain, and medium rain today. Which of those did you prefer tonight?
Light rain, because I could use the slick tires in light rain. And I'm terrible on wet tires and in the rain in general, so.
Yeah, it's definitely not the tire for everyone, but thank you very much for coming on, Andrew, and please put on some pants when you leave.
And a shirt. Completely naked. Right, yeah, see you later.
See,
That's not coming out of nowhere, by the way. He did say before the race that he'd do that with no clothes on, but we will not be fact-checking that. All right, next up on the interview list, I think that spot should go to Video Gamer Guy. P5 in race 1 and P6 in race 2.
Indeed. Let's bring him in.
Welcome, Video Gamer Guy. Plenty of action for you tonight. Quite consistent in the results. Unfortunately, not able to bring your teammate with you today. Tell us how it was.
Yeah, it went pretty well. Race 1 was pretty good. Although I'm a little bit annoyed at the safety car that may or may not be an actual safety car, because I think that might have lost me a podium. But yeah, one of those. Obviously, you've got to race through it, haven't you? And race 2, that was just holding on to those wets for the rest of the race, and just sliding around. Good fun, good fun. I'm surprised I was consistent in both of them, put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, very, very different conditions, as you mentioned, different tires as well. I do find it somewhat ironic that all the complaints we've heard about the dubious safety car so far are from people that went into the pits at least once, and typically safety car would be better for people who pit, but not in this scenario tonight. How much prep work did you put into this one?
I did probably about an hour last night trying to get a wet setup on the practice server for the qualifying more than anything. And then it worked really well in the dry as well. So not too much more than last week, really. Yeah, pretty
Yeah, I mean,
chilled out.
you said without a safety car you were on for a podium, so I think that's gone to show that your efforts have definitely bared some fruit. Now, your teammate, unfortunately, wasn't able to finish either race. Said he wouldn't partake in race 2 due to the overheating issue. Do you know if he did anything different in that second race to try and alleviate the issue?
Not a clue, to be honest. Yeah, I think it was rather last minute that he said he was going to give it a go. Obviously,
The call of racing was just too strong.
Exactly. He couldn't resist. You'd have thought with the wet track it would have cooled down the GPU, wouldn't it? But apparently it doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Got to get to the bottom of it. Could be anything really, couldn't it? But unfortunate for him. He qualified quite well. He was doing quite well in race 1 up until the disconnect and bits like that, and same again in race 2 as well. So bit of a shame, but this is what drop rounds are for, isn't it? So
Exactly. I was in fact about to bring that up, so you were one step ahead of me. Now, Nismo, do you have any more questions for Video Gamer Guy?
Yeah, a very, I'd say, complicated weather conditions today. Next week we've got quite the complicated track. Have you raced Salvador at all yet, or is it going to be a surprise going into it?
I have been around Salvador in, I think, the Copa Classics. So that's about as much use as going around in a go-kart, quite frankly. I will turn up and see. I foresee safety cars and things like that coming out to play, so I'm just going to take it easy and see what's what.
Now, I actually, mentioning safety cars, that does give me an idea for my final question for you tonight, and that is, based on the number of incidents, safety cars, people going off the track, how many commentators' curses do you think were dished out tonight?
Oh, God. I'm going to say... Which was the worst? Race 2 was probably worse with visibility, so I'm just going to say 3 in race 2 and 2 in race 1, so 5 in total.
Ooh, very, very close indeed. There were, in fact, no curses in the first race. Very well behaved on our part. Race 2 had 4, so you were 1 off in total.
Oh, right, okay. Well done. Or not well done, depends on the way you look at it.
Now, well done to you for estimating it so closely with pretty much, well, I mean, you had the race to go on, but it's sometimes chaos happens and we're not at fault. It's hard to tell sometimes. But yeah, definitely caused some of it tonight, and who knows who will cause it next week. Thank you for coming on, Video Gamer Guy. We'll see you again next time.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
All right. Who do we have left? We still have to interview Barent and Cuckoo, both streaming. I mean, Cuckoo got P2, so we should have arguably pulled them in already.
Yeah, let's bring them in then.
Welcome, Cuckoo. No more stream for you. It's interview time.
Hello.
How
Hello.
chuffed are you with that podium? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
shoot, my
good,
audio's
yeah.
dying again.
Pretty good.
Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
first race.
Yeah, we can hear you,
again,
Martin. We can.
First race, sunk cost fallacy on the wet tires. I should have boxed. I didn't, so I went from like second to 12th, which was sad. Race 2 was essentially what race 1 should have been, had I made the right strategy call. I was just flying on the wets at the beginning. I was just very comfortable with it. I didn't even realize how much of a gap we were pulling, me and Mats, until he got past me and I looked at the map.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the pace was there. It fell off a bit in the dry conditions at the end, but made it work.
Yeah, I will say, catching you in race 1, I think you had quite a few battles, but it wasn't as much being a brick wall as we've typically seen. I think there was a lot more of that from you in race 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was because I was on the wrong tires in race 1. I was on the wets
Yeah.
the whole time, so it was mostly people on the dries that were going past me, so there wasn't much I could do.
Now, there was, of course, a safety car in that first race. What was the chief reason that you didn't pit?
I thought it was too early for the dries at that point.
But were you thinking that there would be a second safety car, or were you thinking that the weather was just
I
going to be that
didn't
bad?
think there would be a second safety car. I just thought it was too early for the dries still. I nearly
Gotcha.
ended up pitting for the dries, but I stayed out, which was stupid. And then it was just sunk cost, and I just stayed out to see what I could salvage, which was probably the wrong thing to do, but hindsight.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gave you some valuable experience for that second race. You fought Andrew and Mats, ended up in P2. Tell us what it was like to defend against Mats.
Yeah, Mats is always a tough one because he's like the resident alien of the league at this point. So if you're matching Mats, you're having a very good day. He had a bit of an edge on me, so I wasn't quite matching him, but I was enough to put up a fight initially in the wet. I think I would have probably held him up longer if these cars didn't have the boost. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I sort of knew exactly where to park the bus in the corners that he wouldn't be able to capitalize on it. So every time he was trying a move, I would just end up as like a brick wall right where he wanted to go. So I just completely blocked him all the time.
Yeah, I was
And then he had a few goes into turn 1 as well, but I always managed to hold it on the inside.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna say that from watching that battle, I believe Matt's on purposely held his boost for a lap so that
Yeah,
he
I
could
think he did.
use it on the one on the opposite one.
Yeah,
you.
it's the problem with being ahead of someone is you don't know what they're going to do with it, and by the time if you wait to see what they do with it, well, then you've still got to wait like 5 seconds for it to activate when you push yours. So it's like, what do you do?
Mm.
So it's yeah, there's no way to tell. So you just have to deal with it. And unfortunately, he got past. I was basically resigned at that point. I didn't really focus on trying to get the position back because I knew he kind of had the edge on me in this one. So I was like, it's going to be silly if I try to get it back. I'm going to kill myself somewhere. Let's just let it go and focus on holding what I got. Because, we pulled out such a huge gap in that heavy rain at the beginning. It was like, let's just hold on to it and see if I can clutch the second place, which I could. I was kind of hoping he'd make a mistake, but didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, we of course did see Mats in the wall in the first race. Ended up with him getting a slightly better starting position for race 2 with that reverse grid. But yeah, it was definitely good from both of y'all in that second race. Great to see you on the podium again. It has been a while.
Yeah, it should have happened in the last league, but I made stupid errors and cost myself.
Now, one thing that is a first on tonight's stream is that we've uncovered a couple of special bean facts, and I'm not sure if you know them yet.
Oh, do tell.
Now, since we're racing in Brazil, I decided to look up some Brazilian bean facts, and someone added a bit of a pointer as to the second one halfway through the stream. But the first one was, in fact, Brazil is the biggest producer of the common bean, apparently.
I did not know that.
And the same applies to the coffee bean. So if you happen to like eating and drinking beans, Brazil is your destination.
I'll have to make a mental note of that. Bean tourism is the future. You heard it here first, everyone.
I've literally been sent for reference. I've literally been sent a baked bean museum somewhere in England from Martin. So
that was a couple months ago.
In England in September, I know what must be done.
I think it's just someone's house as well. That's the scary part.
Even better. It's always good when you have like that weird person with the really specific hyperfixation, and it's a bit weird, but it's pretty interesting at the same time.
Yeah.
Especially when they're
Baked
very
Bean
passionate
Museum.
about it.
Yeah, the Baked Bean Museum. That is a strong contender for top museum.
I wonder.
Imagine if they would sponsor one of the liveries. That would be amazing.
That would be cool.
So when you get back from England, I would definitely ask you what was better, the Baked Bean Museum or Canada?
Well, it's obviously the Baked Bean Museum, you know. How can it compare?
The hype is insane.
I know.
The next
You
trend,
can't
everyone.
beat the Baked Bean Museum. It's just a fact.
I think they should change the location of the next few races to just be around the Baked Bean Museum house.
What, like inside, like small RC cars, or like just drifting around the outside of it?
Well, I was kind of thinking the neighborhood as in a street circuit, but we could have the finale using RC cars inside his house.
That'd be entertaining.
See, why don't they do that in F1? If we need an extra race, just get an indoor small little track, give all the drivers RC cars, and have them drive around, like the Baked Bean Museum.
That would be quite interesting. I mean, they've already done the Lego car, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Be good
But
to see.
as for my final race question for you, Kaku, I'll have to ask, what happened to your teammate?
Just a bit of a disaster class, really. Just errors with strategy and everything. So we made the same mistakes, unfortunately, and then a few small errors going off track and everything, and getting caught up in incidents with other people, just compounding, really.
Yeah, I definitely know what that feels like. Not a pleasant one in the least, but wishing, well, not better luck to you because you already got a podium today, but better luck to your teammate for the next one, and I think we'll see you then.
I'm sure he's going to bounce back. It's I've always generally run quite well in the rain, so I knew I was probably going to be in with a good shout of doing something worthwhile tonight versus what I did last race. Unfortunately mucked it up in the first race on strategy, but I came good in race 2.
Hopefully it'll be the same for races 1 and 2 next week. Thank you very much for coming on, Kaku.
Yep, fingers crossed. Thank you. I'm gonna go and eat some dinner.
Yeah, have a
some
good night
beans.
and enjoy the weather.
I definitely won't. I was literally before qualifying and before race 2, I was taking my VR headset off, going to the bathroom, filling up a glass of water, standing in the shower, and then throwing it over myself. Just try and stay cool for the race.
Well,
So yeah, desperate measures were held because it was like 31 degrees today.
Yep.
if you want to get a podium, there's the strategy.
Yeah, so I was literally dripping.
I mean, I
in
will
both
say,
races.
as
I'm still
someone
damp now.
as someone who's currently in very similar conditions, I'll admit I didn't race tonight. But one way to keep the body cool is to put away the wheel, get out the controller, and work out those fingers. The rest of you is going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah. No trousers, no shorts, just underwear and a t-shirt, just soaking wet. Massive fan pointed at you, full beans, and then pray that your bandana catches the sweat from dripping into your eyes with the VR headset. Desperate measures tonight, but made it work. Wasn't actually as bad as I expected, so there's a saving grace there.
Well, hopefully next week won't be as bad. But yeah, until then,
As bad. Kaku got a podium.
No, sweat-wise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
See, that's
Yes,
where the wet
I'll,
conditions came from. It was from the sweat.
I shall see you next time.
Ta-ta.
Have a good one.
Au reservoir, mon petit croissant.
All right, next up for the final interview is Bernd18995. Welcome, Bernd.
Hello.
That's a P10 and a P9 on the books today. Quite a consistent result. We did just catch you streaming on your own in the Ready for Interview room, though. What were you looking at?
I was looking at some of the statistics of the race, like at my overheating tires and all the fun stuff.
Oh, definitely the fun stuff there. Were they overheating when it was drying up? Were you on the wet tires when it was getting a little bit too dry?
Exactly, yeah. In race 2, I figured I would stay on the wet tires because there was like another shower forecasted.
Mhm.
And when I realized that it wouldn't be relevant, then it was too late to pit already, and the rears were quite tricky.
Yeah, that is a bit of a disadvantage of these shorter races, is if you in fact do pit for pure tire strategy and the others don't, you will most likely be losing out. Of course, strategy being a bit of a sacrificial lamb to get rid of all the tire saving and fuel saving that we were having in the longer races, but definitely been entertaining so far. Tell us about your race other than the overheating, Brent. Did you have good battles out there?
I mean, I had some fun out there. In race 1, I made the wrong call for turn 1 and was on the outside and had to wait ages until I could pick up the throttle. So lost a couple of positions there. In race 2, I had a nice side-by-side with Trouble in that long-winded left-hander,
Mm-hmm.
which ended with him spinning because he had less grip on the dirty outside part of the track.
I think we might have caught that actually. That was quite spectacular.
And then also I spun once on my own in turn 1 in race 2
Mm-hmm.
because of those rear tires. And if I wouldn't have spun there, I could have secured P7 because in the last lap, Case and Trouble just kinda came past me in like the last sector, so that was annoying. But anyway.
Yeah, now the toughness this race, it does sound like it mostly had to do with the weather conditions. So, are you just not a fan of those conditions in general, or was it specific to this car?
I mean, it's always tough regarding the conditions. Like with this car without ABS and stuff, it's sometimes you feel you brake at the same point and just sail right, and there's nothing you can do anymore to change the trajectory, and you just slide off.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that makes sense from a physics standpoint. And yeah, I mean, personally, I didn't try LMU wet races yet, but I think I like the idea of them a little bit more, where there is like dedicated, where there are dedicated wet lines that you have to take to be consistent and fast.
Yeah, I'm guessing LMU does have more puddles than AMS2 in the rain as well, right?
I didn't test LMU in the yet, but I saw like a couple esports races and stuff, and there's like
Mhm.
multiple different lines you can take, and but it's mostly braking offline or trying to V the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And in MS2, it's not really that intuitive, at least for me. I mean, I know that in theory there is some kind of a similar system, but I do not feel that the difference is big enough that it warrants to take like another line under braking or changing your approach to a corner.
Yeah, absolutely. There is still room for improvement for sure. I'm not sure if the devs are gonna be looking at that particular part of the game before they move on to AMS3, but we'll have to wait and see. Are you looking forward to the next dry race?
Certainly, something to follow up regarding the tire model.
Mm-hmm.
A while ago, I read on the forum that Racer was looking into adding like tire curing and tire craning to their tire model.
Oh gosh.
And I would hope that that would also add like another little bit of depth to like the tire model and the tire wear. Because currently I do not feel like it matters that much if you beat too early on slicks. I mean, it's treacherous and you're gonna die, but you're not really risking craning or whatever.
Yeah, see, it kind of scares me because I feel like they already have it a little bit substituted by how severe the lockups in this game are. It's get the tires too hot and they're gonna act like they're graining. Get the tires too locked up and they're gonna act like they're graining as well. So I think if they add graining, it's just gonna add another scenario where the tires are gonna feel that way, which is gonna be very very painful if you're struggling with those other things. But thank you for the insight. I had not seen that news yet.
Yeah, I hope it's still coming. It's been like a year or a year and a half that I've read it, so let's see.
Now, I do have one final question, and that is for you, actually, Nismo. What feature would you like to see added to this game?
Feature. I mean, it'd probably be a car. I think there needs to be maybe some more fun car classes added, such as you got the vintage. I don't know what they're called, but they're proper old vintage. They look. I don't know what the name of them are. I know exactly what I'm thinking. Oh, they're really small. They're like almost like go-karts. I'm gonna see if I can search it up. Vintage.
Well, while Nismo's looking for that, Barent, aside from an update to the tire model and wet weather physics, what would you add to the game?
Driver changes would be amazing.
Did you say driver changes?
Exactly, that would be great. And of course, there can always be a little bit better netcode or a little bit better online multiplayer systems. But
Track limits. Yes, I agree. No, those are definitely some good ideas. So hopefully, when we hand our wish list to Santa this year, he's gonna listen. Nisma, have you found your requested car yet?
Yeah, it was I believe. Hold on, I'm just making sure because I think I've just remembered it. Let me just I feel like they're called like something Legend series or something.
That sounds very fake.
I mean, you are knowing that they are old, that they are vintage, and they are legendary. That's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, but they just do that. I think having some proper. Not, I think we've got all the nice cars now. We've got LMDHs. I think I want something that is maybe a bit on the slower pace and that you can have a bit of side by side action and
Renault
it's
Clios.
still fun.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to another season in the LMDHs. They were great.
Well, it would be interesting to see some of the longer tracks conquered by the league, like the Nordschleife or the Le Mans track. It would be perhaps a bit more difficult to keep the battles going for long, but we might get there at some point. Well, either way, thank you very much, Bernd, for your insights and making your wishes known for the game. I think we pretty much all share those, and wish you best of luck for next week.
Thanks for having me, and I hope you had some fun as well.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Thank you.
See you.
All right.
That brings us to the end of the interviews, and what a race, what changing conditions we've experienced tonight. A lot of drivers being caught out in both qualifying race 1 and race 2. 2 safety cars as well, which one causing quite a bit of controversy from the sounds of it, causing people to mess up their strategies. But one thing's for sure is that next week won't be any more exciting, since we are going to be at Salvador Street Circuit, which, I mean, if we've had 2 safety cars here, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 2, 3, 4.
Ooh, high predictions.
It is a brutal track that I've raced many a time, and if you just lose it once and you somehow end up Austin powering it, that will be carnage, pure carnage.
I mean, if you do that to it, it sounds like that would be grounds for a red flag.
Well, I think we have had the red flag. We haven't had the red flag in a while, have we?
I don't think we have.
It's I do miss the red flag, but of course I always be a sucker for a safety car. So, but yeah, and until then, it's been great commentating as always, and we'll see you next week for round 4.
Good night, everyone.
And they're off. Green flag racing. Matt's getting an amazing start. Ultimate K's actually catching speed, napping. Matt getting the jump on his teammate down the inside. Necron losing to Cuckoo on the start. Kenny pressure Dino into a mistake. Dino goes too wide and extremely close for P1. And is this going to be Jadlin going down the inside? Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, that's a spin. And there's another safety car. Oh my god, this carnage.
Jedlin and Kaze are both in the pits. Fennec, Exus, and Dean are all coming in as well. It'll be very tight if he still wants to make it to the back of this pack, but in the meantime, we do have everyone out of the pit, so we're probably going to get going on this next lap. We are, in fact, restarting now, regardless of that incident.
McKay's looking for that undercut. Does he get it? It looks like he might do that side by side and very close together. Cuckoo looking for that inside line on Jedlin ahead. Going into 130R, but they're going to be wanting to go fully defensive into the chicane of Casio Triangle. He's going to end up finishing in P1, crossing the line. Greenlink's going to cross the line. It's going to be Ultimate K's across the line.
Gilish comes across the line to win his second MSR title.